Good morning, pop culture. We are live. It is Friday, finally. But no, it is Friday, September the 7th, 2018. It's 7:45, and it's time to rock with Good Morning Pop Culture. So this is going to be a very fun show this morning because we're talking about some world-class bullshit. And no, I'm not talking about the channel. You guys have read the title of this video. Guys, I think they have reached an all-time low. They're really reaching over there in hippy-dippy bullshit land. So as soon as we get to 200 viewers, we will start. Good morning to everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I don't know what part of the world you're in, but I'm glad you're here with World-Class Bullshitters. Good morning, pop culture. Last night's World-Class Bullshitters was another one for the books. We talked about Moist Muff Crumbs, a.k.a. Lena Dunham. We also talked about extra stuff off air, which you're probably thinking to yourself, Jeff, I didn't catch After Hours last night. Well, I needed some sleep, but After Hours is available right now. So when you're done with World-Class Bullshitters, Good Morning Pop Culture, make sure you listen to the After Hours show. It's 41 minutes of fun, insanity, and you're not going to regret it. So let's see how many people are here right now. Ooh, 134. We are catching on quick. So good morning, too. Let's see who's here. Who can say hello to? Let's see. The sound is messed up, huh? Let me try.
Is it better now? Is it better now? Let's see. Did we get it fixed? Somebody tell me if it's fixed. There we go. It's fixed. Okay, we're getting a lot of. It's all good. It's low. I'm right up to the mic, so I don't know what to tell you guys. Yeah, there we go. It's better. The Wiener Clan's here. Cool. Maybe you can play Wiener Cousins with Coach Loudy, former world-class bullshitter. So, Star Wars has already been turned into an SJW safe space for those who, are asking. But today, we've reached a new low with those crazy people. It's the definition of reaching. So, let us get to 12 more viewers, and then we can start. By the way, folks, as always, let's check in our morning update for Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody. And Stealing Solo is at $22,417 with 533 backers. So every day that I'm on here, new people back the show almost constantly. And it's exciting. I'm excited to show you guys more. We've had some cool behind-the-scenes stuff, and it's a lot better than I planned it to be. All right, so there we go. There's your morning update for Stealing Solo. And in one more viewer, we'll get this show on the road. You get woke for Good Morning Pop Culture. Oh, God. Don't get woke for us. Just wake up for us. All right, now we're at the goal of 205 viewers. So let's start the, I want to say the shit show, but that would imply that this is a shit show. And I have something really incredibly funny to show you guys today, something I've never shown on the show before. Will I really receive this comic book? Of course you'll receive this comic book. The channel's name stands on it. Wouldn't lie and take people's money. My name is not Zoe Quinn. So here we are. This new Star Wars social media study shows female fans and Kelly Marie Tran receive the most hate speech. First off, thank you to our friend Stephen Morgan for your super chat. Now we're cooking, and my birthday can really start proper. Hey, Jeff, how's your week been, dude? Well, first off, Stephen Morgan, happy birthday to you, my friend. Everyone in the chat, wish Stephen a happy birthday. I've been doing well this week. I've just been doing some behind-the-scenes stuff for the channel, been putting out videos, working on another one. My new thing is as soon as a single release video hits 50,000 views, I'll get the next one out within the next couple days, and that's where we are now. So everyone liked the self-destruction of Ryan Johnson. They didn't Johnson it up, and that's going to be coming soon. But Steven, I'm well. I'm well, man. Thanks for asking. It's good that it's Friday. I love doing Good Morning Pop Culture, but I would like a little more sleep in the mornings, especially after a long night that is world-class bullshitters. We were up fairly late, and now I'm here. And I got to deal with this bullshit. Hell, I might turn this into a video later on in the day. This is a new low. So let's get into that. Oh, God. So, for 40 years, Star Wars fans have been incredibly passionate about the galaxy far, far away, which unfortunately can turn into harassment when that passion is misguided. A new study from the Washington Post studied thousands of posts on Twitter and determined that female fans are subjected to more harassment than males, with Lone, former Kelly, Marie Tran, and her character Rose Tico receiving 60% more hate speech than posts related to the whole franchise. The study examined tweets for positive or negative attitudes, because you can infer that, offensive language, profanity, and belligerence, and hate speech, which includes ethnic, misogynistic, or homophobic slurs, as well as threats of violence. The report noted that the algorithm also classified extreme slurs against political ideology groups as hate speech. See, this is a bullshit article already. Fuck the Washington Post. Excuse my language. When it came to coming through to Twitter for tweets using Star Wars or The Last Jedi, 6% of these posts also included offensive language. However, this doesn't necessarily mean that all of these tweets were negative in nature. As far as hate speech, that accounted for closer to 1% of posts. So we have to go out of our way. Here's the shit that they constantly do. Oh, you're just a small vocal minority, yet you still keep talking about us. Well, your movies flop. Well, it's only a small minority that didn't go see it. Yeah, enough to kill Solo. Fuck you guys. Understandably, posts including the keywords which used other offensive language or hate speech came from accounts with fewer followers, also garnered fewer likes, retweets, or replies. The study also used tools to sweep through collected data to remove likely bots from the equation. So I'm going to keep cutting in for a moment. So we keep getting put on these blockchains and all this other bullshit, but then they want to, because they don't want to listen to what we have to say, but then they try to cherry pick our tweets and act like we're a hate group. Now, I'm not saying we're getting picked on in particular. If anything, we offer the most valid constructive criticism of these movies. I don't make fun of Rose Tico for her appearance as a person or Kelly Marie Tran, but the character's lame and defeats a lot of the purpose of the story and just isn't very good. Now, does that qualify as hate speech on their part? Probably, because I'm not kissing the movie's ass. That's the problem when you have a political science student or whoever wrote this. When it came to determining whether male or female fans received more harassment, the study looked at 37 fan accounts run by men and 26 run by women. Why not 37 of each, guys? While both male and female accounts received the same amount of replies using offensive language, between 8 and 9%, there was a large difference when it came to hate speech. Male identifying accounts received hate speech roughly 1 out of 450 tweets, while roughly 1 out of 280 messages towards female identifying used hate speech. This isn't to say that the accounts themselves were the targets of hate speech, so much as that users more freely used hate speech in any context while directed at women. Studying the data collected in regards to keywords Kelly Marie Tran or Rose Tico resulted in 12% of all tweets using offensive language. When accounting for hate speech, slurs are more regularly used to describe the actress or her character than used when discussing the rest of the franchise. One likely explanation for the data collected from the study is that from the anonymity of social media, users were more likely to use offensive speech than in other forms. Additionally, this data only accounts for the discussion on Twitter and not Facebook, Instagram, or the real world, and also didn't delineate between who a fan of the franchise and who was merely posting about it. Does this data surprise you? Let us know in the comments below. You know what? It doesn't surprise me because it's more garbage to your bullshit. This is what happens when you choose the woke side to represent Star Wars and the fandom. It's like, oh, guys, you don't understand. you're just a small minority, but you're so full of hate. Well, you know what's funny? Both sides go through this shit. Look at our friend, that Star Wars girl. People are giving her shit because she's a female that likes Star Wars but doesn't like the new stuff. It's like they're attacking her, and it's not even cool. I mean, they're playing dirty. They're playing dirty too, and they want to act like the fandom menace is to blame. No, we're not to blame. Jared Ricewig, thank you for your super chat. Star Wars Episode 9, A New Low. I rest my case. Well, I think the court will rule in your favor, sir. Mareth Dioline. Sup, dude? I just finished all 8 Thrawn books and my first day off in 11 days. Damn. You need some rest. I hope you're not up only for us. If you are, thank you very much. But listen to this show, take a nap, have some fun. Do whatever makes you happy. But just relax. See, I'm just taken aback by this. I'm not taken aback that by the numbers. I'm taken aback by the stupidity that this is an actual thing. Like, someone was paid or got college credit to scour Twitter. Twitter is now an academic resource, according to these people. Well, social media says, social media means dick. I don't get into politics, but social media said one thing and the real world goes another way. We all know what I'm talking about. So social media isn't the be-all, end-all. But when you go out into the real world and you meet people like we do that dislike this shit, I think you get a better... Like, we're looking at the people. We're meeting the people. This isn't numbers on a screen. This isn't bullshit statistics. We are getting to them, and they definitely did Johnson that study. I'm waiting for more information to come out. I mean, this is such an academic necessity, right, guys? We need to know more and more about their bullshit qualifications. Like, oh, well, this is hate speech. This is whatever. Like, what happened to valid criticism? Yeah, I'll go and make the joke Rose Tico wears a potato sack because, well, she wears a potato sack-looking jumpsuit. But that's hate speech. Oh, I don't hate Kelly Marie Tran. I just dislike Rose Tico as a character. Why? Well, she's lame. She doesn't really serve any purpose. Her goals are very muddled. And in the end of it, she actually defeats what the Rebel Alliance 2.0 are trying to fight for. And that is, defeating the Empire 2.0. But no, through her bullshit and poorly written script concocted by Johnson himself, the Empire won. Why? Because they got to copy Empire Strikes Back. So this is where we are, folks. This is scientific research. It's Twitter. I need to know what you guys think about this because it's too early for this much stupidity for me. I need to detox this garbage from my eyes right now by looking at this delicious dark roast coffee. I'm convinced that this latest flurry of articles is a lead up to KK quitting because of the toxic fandom. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, Darth Durkle the wise ass, I definitely planned on doing that. Don't worry. So what I wanted to say to Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, besides your comment, is thank you for your limerick. I read it on air last night, and I saved the MP3 of it, and I'm going to be posting it elsewhere because that was the best thing I think I've ever read on the channel. They're still trying to whip up this non-story game, but let's play the hypothetical game, if we will, if we can, for a moment. So let's say Kathleen Kennedy's out. It's September. It's been rumored for months that this is the end for Kathleen Kennedy. Does she seem like the type of person where her regime will just end quietly? She'll just close the door and not wake anybody up on the way out? No. She gets her Thalberg Award with her husband, Frank Marshall. She's going to go down as a martyr. Oh, my God, look how toxic these people are. Look at the numbers on Twitter. Look at the numbers on social media, blah, 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 fucking blah. That's going to be her fight song. This is how she goes out. Not, a blaze of bullshit. Not even a blaze of glory. Kathleen Kennedy's regime, if it's over, this is the best time to get rid of it because it'll garner sympathy for episode 9. They'll go, oh, the women of Star Wars have been attacked. And then they'll try to pull this shit about the women of Marvel if Captain Marvel doesn't make $1 billion. And if it does, they'll go, oh, well, the future is female and these trolls are just so angry. It's like, that's not the point of any of this. Make a movie first that stands on its own and stop using identity politics to target people on the internet that aren't going to see your fucking movie. You know what? You want to make a female-led superhero flick? Awesome. It was called Wonder Woman. The media tried to pull that shit. The movie didn't pull that shit, and that's why it worked out. I don't think Marvel's smart enough anymore. Whoever's in charge up at Disney, Bob Iger, or whoever's above him, if they're some secret shadow organization, Mickey himself, the Unfrozen Walt, those people are on an agenda for some reason, and they don't care who they take down with them. So goodbye, Marvel. Welcome to the Star Wars approach. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much again. Social media study. So they also check the millions of forums on the interwebs. Do they think that Twitter is the only social media outlet? Jesus. It's the only social media outlet when it fits with their narrative. Twitter is convenient. Twitter is also damaging. If I could make one social media platform disappear, it would be Twitter. Twitter is just an echo chamber of garbage. It is essentially the Mos Eisley cantina of social media. Every once in a while, you'll find a Han Solo-like roguish character who will take you to Alderaan, aka us. But you're mostly surrounded by Ponda Baba, and you've seen his face. But yeah, there are other places on the internet. It would be funny if they were to try to say, like, oh, look at the Twitter for this channel. It's full of hate speech and misogyny, and it's not. And then if you go to our other group pages, it's like, these are just people with criticisms. You know, men and women. We have ladies that listen to this show. We have our friend Stephanie. She is not a fan of Disney Star Wars. And she would be lumped into all this crap too. It's stupid. It's funny. The approach they're taking almost defeats their end game. Like what they're trying to fight for is this, all equality in the entertainment world. And no one here is fighting against it. We just dislike what's coming out. And there's a really valid comment that is made on this article that I'm going to read in a moment. Midnight Cherry TV, thank you very much. I'm a one-person hate group. Anyone who doesn't like Mystery Men is put on a list. Feels good to catch you live. Too busy doing own content. I understand Midnight Cherry TV. Believe me, you can lose days. Like I've said before, I lost the entire month of June to producing content for the channel. So believe me, I know what's up. It's very rewarding though. Ever realize when they do shit like this, they're hiding something good? If they're hiding something and we get word of it, I'm going to be putting out content about it. Don't worry. I'm always paying attention. We're vigilant for that. Mareth Dialines is going to binge watch real Star Wars and Clone Wars play Skyrim. What was that vampire book series that sponsored World Class Bullshitters the other day? Sounds interesting. Well, first off, our friend Yakov Merkin has the Galaxy Ascendant series. So that's available on Amazon. Those links are there. And then if you go back to our video from the other day, the Ryan Johnson, Self-Destruction of Rian Johnson, you will find the other vampire series, which is titled, hold on, wait for it. Don't anybody click away. I want to, help the guy out. Waiting. My internet sucks. Hey, we passed 73,000 viewers or subscribers. Woo. Okay, so the Self-Destruction of Rian Johnson. And the other series is called the Undeadly Secrets series, and those are both available on Amazon. The links are in the description of the video from Tuesday. So check that out, folks. But have fun, Reptiline. Maybe get Spider-Man. Who knows? All right, so let me read some of this stuff, the comments, because the comments were really interesting. You can tell a longtime fan, and you can tell some people who are just on the thing. So, Jervu Kadai says, God, that's a horrible sigh. God, that's horrible sigh. When will they learn? Adam BR says, well, if you're going to go by the comments that are misogynistic, what do you expect? Now, here's the one that I thought was interesting. Mickey, I am fed up with this meme that Star Wars fans hate women. We had Princess motherfucking Leia as our ideal woman since we were little kids. She was our favorite badass before Ripley or Sarah Connor. She was our favorite even before Jabba stripped her down and we all hit puberty at the same time. We haven't even responded to Rey and background character girls because they're the only thing Leia was not. Boring. Rey's story arc is just Luke's story arc. Let's face it. By the time Empire was out, Luke wasn't our favorite guy anymore either. It was the scoundrel. Luke was boring and Han wasn't. Let's be clear. No one is singling out Rey or background character girls here. None of the new main characters are interesting as the original cast. Male, female, alien, in between. Half of the new actors look like they need to put peanut butter on their gums to make it look like they're talking. The closest we get is Han and Leia's son, who is acting out his terrible twos in most of the scenes. He's definitely getting his temper tantrums from Anakin. Poe could be an interesting character if they actually had spent time with him. We got a mysterious new leader with questionable judgment in military matters and hair coloring Instead, the woman can't act. Just give her something to work with. Or the woman can act. Just give her something to work with. Okay, so I feel like Mickey, as I early morning stumbled my way through that on the struggle bus, I feel like Mickey had the most level-headed approach. Do we agree with that one? It's everybody sucks, you know? And Rose Tico is the worst of the sucky ones. Okay, Superfan Adam Shawhan, awesome. So they are pulling this card out of their deck. Remember, they tried the Kelly Marie transition away from Solo's failure. Now we're going to have this. Maybe they want us to talk about this so they can slowly get into the Catholic, give Kathleen Kennedy her exit without a lot of people covering it. Maybe I shouldn't make a video. Maybe I should just go away and play the waiting game. Speaking of aliens, why are humans so overrepresented in Star Wars? It's a universe supposedly full of alien species. Nearly every relevant character is human. Well, you make a good point there. I actually dislike Finn the most as he's an embarrassing cuck. He is embarrassing. He was the character that had the most potential. And I'm tired of these people. Well, you got to wait for the final one. You got to wait for episode 9 before you can judge these movies. No! That means I've waited, well, not 6 years because that's the original Star Wars. Waited 4 years to judge a movie from 2015? No, guys. Look it. We live in a world where people try to deflect criticism and hide behind shit, and they can't take their lumps. You know what? If you like something, if you don't like something, say it, and the people just have to deal with it. That is how the world works. Would I rather be tortured for 10 hours or pay full price for episode 9? I'll pay full price because I don't like physical torture. I'll get enough psychological torture from episode 9 itself. Many Bothans died to bring us this podcast. Yeah, as I step over their corpses every morning, I'm very thankful for the sacrifice they made for the world-class bullshitters community. Yeah, the deflection gets more bizarre. We've been talking about deflection of Star Wars story all year long. I can go back and you know what? Maybe I need to do this. We'll go back and pinpoint all the deflection tactics they've used this year. Star Wars 2018, a look back and bullshit. Remember when you would get a Star Wars movie and then they would release a video game and some cool toys and they would talk about what could or couldn't be happening and everyone would speculate and then it would go away and then that speculatory thing would either happen or not and you moved on to the next thing? Is it so hard to get people excited for stuff today? It's not that the people have changed. It's that the people that make the stuff have changed. The consumers are the same. We just want high fantasy action adventure in space and some deeper philosophical messages. We don't need some little round-headed boy trying to subvert our expectations. We just need the story of us told in space. Everyone here can identify with Luke. We can all aspire to be like Han in some ways, and we can respect certain traits of Princess Leia. Many traits of Princess Leia. What are we supposed to get out of the new Star Wars characters? That's what Star Wars is supposed to be about. Crazy situations that we relate to on a deeper level. And while we're enjoying the spaceships and all that other crap, we're thinking more about the journey, our journey, their journey, where we want to go, where they're going, and how we can mirror that in our lives and become better people and more deeply affected by what's on screen. They took that away, not because society has changed so much that it's hard to get their finger on the pulse. I know the guy from Midnight's Edge said something along the lines of the hero's journey doesn't matter in the West anymore. I disagree. The hero's journey now more than ever matters. We need something to remind us of classic storytelling because we live in a world that is made up of movies and video games that take the easy way out, the shortcut home, if you will. Games are packaged with DLC content that don't give you a complete story. If you want more, you got to pay for more. And then when you pay for it all, you kind of still feel cheated. You spent $80 extra. The story wasn't what you thought it was, and you were just fed some nonsense with broken mechanics. And then you get these movies that come out, and they're not complete stories. They're like, you got to wait for the next chapter in 2 years. And then when you talk about the plot holes, all they do is talk shit about you. the people that make the movie. Well, Rian Johnson, explain the glaring plot hole or technical gaffe where the Praetorian Guard's arm disappears, or explain, how Rey got back on the Millennium Falcon after the ship exploded, or what I'm saying, like explain shit, like riddle me that, Ryan. Please do those types of things. It's the blame that makes Disney look bad. When a company makes a mistake and they own it and they move forward, we don't really sit and think about it. Think of all the fiascos that have happened with companies over the years. Well, a lot of times we forget about them because companies go, we apologize. It's not our corporate image to do this or that, and we'll work harder in the future. Lucasfilms is literally, let's burn it down and piss on the ashes so no one forgets what happens when you cross this boss. And that's where we are. That is where we are with Star Wars. That's how they treat our favorite franchise. That's how they treat us, their fan base. And thankfully, there's this platform, and there's literally millions of people out there who've consumed the content and understand that it's bullshit. And it's not acceptable anymore. An explanation wouldn't change how shitty this is. I'm just trying to use their argument. I'm trying to get into their head because they will say, you got to wait to see it completed. See, everything that they're going to tell you, or let's just say us, I'll say, as a community, we're all one, Fandom Menace. They're just going to continue to tell us, you got to wait for the next one. You got to wait for the next one. And by the time you get to that next, okay, here's an example. Let's say Harry Potter movies were shit. So the first one sucked. Oh, the second one will answer this. And then the third one will answer. And they just keep getting shitty. And then you get to that eighth one, and they're like, well, it'll be answered here. And by the time you're 10 years in, you just don't care. You're like, I'm going to see this movie because I've seen all the other ones. So they get their money, and they get what they want out of you. Money. That's it. It's you judge them each as they come out. For example, the original Star Wars stands on its own. You can watch Empire on its own and judge it by its own merits, and then Return of the Jedi. Now, the last two work better as a double feature in the afternoon, but you can seriously sit down and watch Star Wars by itself. Indiana Jones, you can watch those all individually over the course of however many weeks, and they're all great movies. They don't rely on each other. I like trilogies like that as well. Not everything needs to be interconnected. These Star Wars movies, these new ones, start off the moment after the last one ends. So these we essentially have like one long weekend of Star Wars. So it's like weekend at Holdo's. Everything happens over a short period of time. Rey becomes a Jedi in the weekend. Like Rey gets her Jedi Knight status quicker than you get like an MBA at a crappy college. Before you know it, it's like, oh, you only got to do nights and weekends. Well, Rey did it in a weekend in like 2 nights, and there we are. And that's it. There's no long form thing. They don't draw it out. The Pui, thank you very much for your super chat. Good morning, Jeff, and thank you. Well, the Pui, thank you very much. Thank you for your super chat, and thank you for joining me every morning here on the channel and at night for World Class Bullshitters. Quick aside, folks, it seems like the night streams, we get a lot of passion and excitement and energy. So if you guys want some more night streams, let me know. Throw some ideas at me during this show for something to do tonight. We'll do it a little later and we'll have some fun. Tim Riggs says, The Last Jedi has no merits. Garbage script, garbage movie. Thank you, Tim Riggs. I appreciate your super chat. And yes, I agree with you that it has no merits. It is a garbage script and a garbage movie. Have you guys heard the rumor that Rian Johnson borrowed shit from the Clone Wars? Like, how do you Johnson that up? You borrow something from one of the best sources of Star Wars material ever, and then you produce us The Last Jedi. Jesus, that's all I can say, guys. Rian Johnsoned it up. By the way, Tim Riggs, I need to talk to you about our streaming stuff, so I'm going to be contacting you very soon. The ending borrowed from Escape from LA. Yeah, I remember hearing that a couple of months back. So you stole from the Clone Wars, you stole from Escape from LA, and you fucked it up all along the way. We get more videos like 30 minutes or less with a little more focus. Yeah, we got one this week, and there's another one coming up soon. So people just got to watch them. They got to hit a certain view count because, the channel operates on many levels. He went beyond Munsoning it. He just straight Johnsoned it. Yeah, Munsoning it is a thing of the past. Thank you, Bill Murray. Thank you, Woody Harrelson and Randy Quaid. You guys have served your time, and now Johnsoning it is the next big thing. Well, the streams are a daily thing. They're going to be a nightly thing too, because that's a lot of the community is built on that. But there are videos too. So the best thing I can suggest is just watch those ones and don't come here. Didn't know I already started streaming. We start streaming every morning at 7:45 a.m. This is Good Morning Pop Culture. We do this every day. Starting on Monday, we're now on Monday. So for those on their way to work every day of the week, I will be here to guide you emotionally through my voice to work. Now, some people love their job. Some people hate their job. But we all like to have fun before work and after work. So this is what I can offer you guys. Just a nice break from reality before you start the work week. You know, Mackenzie, that's a good point. You know, a good sci-fi actress, Katie Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica. We were talking about Captain Marvel yesterday, and I didn't want to I wanted to do a stream about it on, what was that, Wednesday, but my power went out, and so then I just waited for the podcast. We looked into it. I looked into it yesterday on the show, and she just, like I said, seems so unlikable and just not there emotionally. Katie Sackhoff could have done that. Why not get some sci-fi actors? Because it's not like the Star Wars crew is made up of, Star Wars cast is made up of these fantastic actors. You're getting people that, but they're unknowns, like George Lucas did it. Well, the thing is, you're doing the stuff that George Lucas did, but you didn't do the other things to fill it in. It's like we shopped at the same market, and we bought the same brands of produce and the same brands of meat that George Lucas did for Star Wars in 1977. We did it today. We got all the new equivalents. But then they forget to cook it, or they burned it, or they just fucked it up somewhere in the process. And that's what happened with this new stuff. You tell us you got all the elements to make Star Wars, but you didn't put them together correctly. Let's see. I didn't hear anything back. Okay, so Eddie Max of Andor sent to the super chat that says, any word from Mike Zero for the High Council? Mike Zero has not responded. Probably won't, but if you guys keep retweeting him and messaging him about the High Council, maybe we can make that happen. So I want Mike Zero on the show this week. I'll try over the weekend, but, I can only do what I can do. Mike Zero is not like a Doomcock or a Razor Fist or Mauler or the Dishonored Wolf who do respond back. Those guys are awesome. I'm not saying Mike Zero is not cool, but he just isn't responding back. So we'll have to check out. We'll have to wait. I hope we don't have to go through the Marvel dumpster fire session. I mean, I know it sounds fun in theory, but it is nice to go sit down in a dark theater with a big group of people and watch the latest Marvel movie and go, all right, Star Wars sucks, but at least I have this. Mike is only clickbait, not worth it. Oh, but it'll be interesting to hear him talk about his Rian Johnson interaction. Not many people have had an interaction with Rian Johnson and lived to tell the tale. Maybe Mike Zero hasn't lived to tell the tale. Guys, right now, I'm getting exclusive future content from Star Wars. Mike Zero is no longer with us. He's moved off to Brett. Sorry, somebody popped up, so it made me laugh. No, he's fine. We know he's fine. We still have John Wick. Yes, we still have John Wick. That is the last bastion of hope. John Wick. Can John Wick pull it off and be the perfect trilogy? Had we not had Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I'd say Indiana Jones was the perfect trilogy. I love all three films equally. If John Wick 3 kicks ass, we have the perfect action trilogy. Terminator fucked it up. Rambo fucked it up. Die Hard fucked it up. John Wick can save it. And that's the counter to say, oh, you live in the past. You only like old movies. I love John Wick. Those are new. What did the first one come out? 2012? So John Wick is a new franchise. They haven't Johnsoned that one up. Yeah, Val Duke, I'm with you 100% about your comments of Brie Larson. She is one of those people. I'm not really, I'm not interested in her as a person. Okay, Planet of the Apes managed to have a good trilogy. Yes, it did. It did. I was just going by straight up action flicks. Planet of the Apes, the new trilogy, is awesome, and I own all three of them right here. It was a lot deeper than expected, and I actually gave a shit about James Franco, too. Normally, I watch a James Franco flick, and he's funny, but I cared about him and his relationship with John Lithgow in the first one. how he was doing it for his dad and the Alzheimer's. Like, I was really interested in that movie. And then they continued to get good. I loved all of them. Stephen Morgan, thank you for Super Chat. Did you hear about the Die Hard prequel? Do you mean like the comic book Die Hard prequel, Die Hard Year One, or the film McClane that's coming out? I've heard about both. I actually own Die Hard Year One, the comic book. Pretty decent book. You guys know how much I love Die Hard. I talk about it all the time. We watch it every year on Christmas here on World Class Bullshitters. It is our official Christmas film. I don't want a prequel. You get enough knowledge about John McClane from that first movie, and they continue to grow the character in a pretty decent way. I mean, it starts out where him and his wife have had issues, and they don't have a perfect relationship. She's done stuff, he's done a lot of stuff, so they're trying to reconcile. And then through his heroism at the Nakatomi Plaza, and he saves the day, they pretty much are back in their good graces. And that's why Die Hard 2 works the way it does. He still loves her. She's just on a plane hoping to land. Then we get to part 3. They write her out of the script because he's an alcoholic with issues, and it really, really, really works. And then in 4, even his kids don't want to see him. So I don't really want to see John McClane young and hip with a full head of hair. I want to see how far and depraved he can go and what he'll do, one more time. They really need to redeem Die Hard 5 because that movie was trash. That was the last Jedi of Die Hard films. Grendel Fan 84, thank you very much. What goes up must come down. Marvel's time is coming. Man, probably. Here's the thing. They messed up on the comic books. And the movies were great. Now the comics are still bad, but the movies could possibly go down. The only thing left for Marvel for me will be the action figures, the Marvel Legends line. And they know where their bread is buttered. They know that collectors buy this shit. It's not necessarily a bunch of little kids that are picking up Omega Red and Bishop. I mean, these are characters in their 90s designs that little kids don't even know. They may see bright and colorful action figures and they may want those. I'm not ever going to deny that. But there's a reason why you drop $120 to collect a Sauron Build-A-Figure or $40 for Archangel or the other characters from the Jim Lee X-Men run. Why? Because the adult collectors support that shit. Star Wars should have taken that approach. They tried it with the Black Series, but the adults, a lot of them, the nostalgic ones, want the 3 3/4 inch. So they cut out a lot of the articulation and quality. They cheapen it. And, $15 is pricey for a little action figure. You got to live up to that. John Wick 2 wasn't as good as the first. I don't know if I'd call it perfect. I like John Wick 2, and I like John Wick 1. What I mean by the perfect trilogy is all films are good. Spider-Man 3 sucks. 1 and 2 are great. Die Hard 1 and 3 are great. Number 2, shitty. I don't like Rambo 3 or 2. The first one's my favorite. That's what I mean by a perfect trilogy. Star Wars isn't a trilogy anymore, so I can't include that. I'm just going by, do I like each film individually? Yes. And I don't. Back to the Future. I love 1. I really like 2, and part 3 I'm not too big of a fan of. So that's what I mean by perfect trilogy, just to clarify it. Yeah, The Ref is a fantastic Christmas film. That's also one of our Christmas movies. I didn't see Crank 3. I only saw Crank 1 and 2, so I'll have to check that out. Yeah, Dark Knight made a great trilogy. There we go. I'll give that one that. Ooh, Captain America. Great superhero trilogy. First one, I got to rewatch it again before I make that statement. I have to do that. Oh, I don't know when Alyssa Milano became an SJW. I don't really follow her too much. She was on, what's that shit? Who's the Boss as a little kid? That was before my time. I saw her on Charmed. Really wasn't a guy's show in the 90s, early 2000s. So I don't know much about Alyssa Milano's career, except she was the Pepsi girl for a while. When do we get a Jeff at a computer action figure? Well, the channel keeps going in the right direction. We keep building it. We keep building relationships with all of you. You guys, listen to the show, watch the videos, support the channel, and we keep pumping the money back into the channel. And so once we get to a certain point and we can afford a way to produce some action figures, some little in-action figure statues, that could be a fun thing. You got to collect them. We offer mailaways. We're going to bring back the fun to World Class Bullshitters. We're a community on every level. Video, audio, action figures. BAF. Let's see. Well, the Pusher and Dark Knight trilogies are up there for me. I did enjoy John Wick 2 a bit, though. Quite a bit. Pusher. What's the Pusher? I like the Dollars trilogy. That might be the best trilogy. Oh, man. I love talking about movies. I got to watch those again soon. I like spaghetti westerns. A lot of people want world-class bullshitters. Oh, if they made Crank 3, would it qualify? I like Crank 1. Crank 2 holds a very special place in my heart because of how crazy it is. You know, I got full body Tourette's and he falls off the motorcycle. What was it, fucking Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite? I took my college girlfriend to that movie and we thought we were stoned. We didn't even do drugs. We would drink together, but we'd never do drugs. We thought we were high. We were watching this movie and it turns into the giant robot fight in the power plant. That movie was bizarre. That was a bizarre ass movie. Bill and Ted will be a trilogy soon. I can hope. Perkindo, world-class bullshitters, bobbleheads, please. Well, Perkindo, thank you for your super chat. Thank you for joining our Patreon page. We appreciate you. Bobbleheads down the road would be cool. If I knew how to sculpt, I know how to draw. If I knew how to sculpt, I would make casts of us and do stuff like that. That would be a lot of fun. Just little itty bitty collectible things. I'm not saying Hot Toys yet. Once the movies come out featuring us and The Rock and, you know, whatever other actor wants to hang out with us, Chris Jericho maybe. Yeah, we'll have better quality stuff. But I would love little bobbleheads or just little, you know, knickknacks. Just cool little world-class bullshitters things. I will check out some old classic Westerns. I'm always down for that. I wouldn't do like a stream for the channel, but I would sit down and enjoy that. So real quick, speaking of stream, what would you guys like me to stream tonight? I mean, I could always do like Indiana Jones or something. Would that be something fun? Are there any people out there that would want to join me for an Indiana Jones, just Raiders of the Lost Ark stream, or maybe something else? I'm looking for ideas. The Pusher trilogy from Nicholas Winding Refn. Oh, they're movies before he made it big, so they're in Danish. Oh, okay. That's the Drive guy, right? The Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan would like dog toys. I can get you a Ryan Johnson squeaky toy. How's that? Okay, so we got Back to the Future trilogy, Beverly Hills Cop, My Cousin Vinny. I don't own My Cousin Vinny. What do I feel like watching? Just, you know, something fun. Something fun. World Class Bullshitters needs to do more classics. Hitchcock. Well, thank you, Timothy Riggs, for your super chat. Yes, you do need to do more classics. Trust me, we got some Hitchcock stuff coming in October. Ooh, I should get Ethan on to talk about Psycho. That's his favorite movie. So that would be a lot of fun because Ethan's cool as always. But to talk about his favorite movie, that'd be like, see, I was a little disappointed with our Back to the Future live stream because I don't feel like at least I got to talk about the movie enough. We got into, you know, tangents, and that's fine. That's what the channel's about at times. But for Back to the Future, and that's why I'm partially holding off for Beverly Hills Cop and other stuff, because I want to get, you know, I want to focus on the movie so I can show you, you know, it means a lot to me. Let's give you the best content based on that movie we possibly can. But Tim Riggs will definitely do some Hitchcock. I consider him the best director of all time over Stanley Kubrick. I get into that argument with Dusty when we talked, and he'd be like, well, Stanley Kubrick's the best director. Who's even comes close? I'm like, Alfred Hitchcock. And then he would just be like, oh, because he hasn't really seen those movies. Alfred Hitchcock was the master of suspense, and he's just a fantastic director. Dial M for Murder is my favorite. DeMille Jr., thank you very much. Get yourself scanned and I'll 3D print you an action figure. Ooh. I like that offer. I'll look into it when I get together with the other guys. We'll see if there's a place we can get scanned. The Room Watch Party. Oh my God. Backdoors last night. Okay, I'll get that one. A John Carpenter movie. Shanghai Noon. Black Dynamite was better than Black Panther. Andrew, I agree 100%. Family Guy Star Wars. Would anybody be opposed to Family Guy Star Wars? Are those on Hulu? I mean, I own the Blu-rays, but I don't own a computer with a Blu-ray drive. Let me see if those are on Hulu real quick, because if that's the case, I try to pick something that's on a streaming service that we could all watch together. That way, it's not like, oh, I don't have this movie. Let's see, Family Guy is on Hulu. Let's see, episodes, season 1. Okay, they got all the seasons, I think. Yeah. So what seasons would those be in? Would anybody be opposed to Family Guy Star Wars? Would that be fun? Do you think people would enjoy that? I'm not debating that Robot Chicken Star Wars is possibly better. I'm just saying what we could do tonight. We may do the whole trilogy. Who knows? A lot of thumbs up, lots of do-its. Low-Key07, Freddy Got Fingered, invite Dion. Well, Low-Key07, thank you very much for your super chat and good morning. I love Freddy Got Fingered. I own it on DVD, and that's not an ironic purchase. I genuinely find humor in that film. When he's going down the damn the conveyor belt with the salami, and he's like, ding dong, and he hits people in the face with it. Oh my god, those are hilarious. What about John Waters? I'm from Baltimore after all. Well, Mackenzie Reichert, I've met John Waters at a Starbucks. Friendly guy. I like his movie. What's the one about the photographer kid with Edward Furlong? That was pretty decent. Rhett Aline says, I found a plush horse head for the Godfather movie. Thank you, Rhett Aline. I need to get a horse head pillow for D. Oh my god. If only his wife would get on the joke, because she loves him, so she doesn't want to psychologically torture him too much. But imagine he's going into bed one night trying to get some, and like he's like, hey baby, and like she rolls over with a horse mask, or there's a horse pillow instead. That would be incredible. Oh my god, Stephen Morgan, wow. Thank you very, very much. That's a huge one. Wow, 50 pounds. Thanks, man. Talking of animated shows, here's some money towards Batman the Animated Series Blu-ray collection. Oh my god, thank you. Dude, you're awesome. I can't wait to get it. Oh, man. Should we do some streams of that, too? Like, should we watch those as a group, talk about Batman the Animated Series, break it down a little more? Oh, man. Well, Stephen Morgan, you are awesome. Thank you for that. And I will have that Blu-ray box set. That's going to be, what was that, October 30th. It got pushed back because now it comes with digital streaming versions of all the episodes. So I'm going to have to watch that 100% for sure now. I can't wait. Oh, man. I get to watch Almost Got Him in high def. I want to watch Batman the Animated Series right now, but I can't. I got the show. Jeff the Iron Wolf, let me check back real quick, man. I don't want to leave you hanging. Okay, so Jeff the Iron Wolf. Oh, Tombstone. Jeff the Iron Wolf said Tombstone. That was his recommendation for tonight. That's a Dion stream. I got to make sure Dion's involved with that one because Dion and Kendo love that. Thank you, Steven. I really appreciate that. Big Lebowski. That sounds like a... What the fuck is happening? There's a... Whoa. Sorry, guys. There's a truck that just parked into my yard, and I live on a hill. And this is a city truck, so I wonder what's happening. So if the power goes out, I went down to with the ship. Grendel Fan 84 says, I would love to join you and discuss Batman the Animated Series. Well, Grendel Fan 84, it's happening. Make sure, folks, by the way, if you're a patron and you've talked to me about that, I'm going to give you our open dates this weekend, and we will get you all scheduled in. So if you're a patron and you have a request, by the way, I think it was Brandon Moyce that requested The Walking Dead, and whoever requested Blade Runner 2049, I told the other guys about it last night, so they're going to go out and buy a copy or rent a copy, and we'll get your Blade Runner 2049 commentary with you relatively soon. But we just had to make sure we get it. So we're working. We're back. It took us a week to get out of the con crud, but we're now back to getting, being focused, being fan focused. That's what we are. Das Boot. Oh my God. Robin's Reckoning is a fantastic episode of Batman the Animated Series. Oh, Mike Zero will work for Collider in the future. Well, that's one thing about me. I don't want to work for Collider in the future. I like working for all of you. We have a good time doing this. This is way more fun than trying to get a job at Collider, getting coffee for Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis. I don't even dislike those guys on a personal level. I just dislike everything they talk about on the show. Ooh, Ash versus Evil Dead. Folks, let's save all the horror stuff for October because we're going to do a lot of content on the channel, but the live streams, Nick can't be a part of on the weekends because he's got plans every weekend. So we'll be doing a lot of horror streams that you guys request. If we can do Ash versus Evil Dead, we can have a Sam Raimi evening where we do the entire Evil Dead trilogy. We can do all kinds of crazy stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're of age, grab yourself a beer or your drink of choice. get the movie and sit down, and we're going to have a crazy time. October is inventory time at Statler Toyota, but it's also Schlocktoberfest, and we want to have the most fun as possible. Tim Riggs says, Burt Reynolds tribute, Cannonball Run, Smokey. Tim Riggs, thank you very much. I haven't seen either of those films. I've seen other Burt Reynolds flicks like Boogie Nights and whatever that one where he works at Burger King and he goes to space. But Deliverance is the Burt Reynolds movie I first think of. And that Twilight Zone episode. Tropic Thunder. Oh my God. I'm not an out-of-work actor. You wouldn't belong. Don't worry. Creepshow is definitely happening. I was actually working on a Creepshow art print. I know I'm not going to tell you guys about that. I might dust it off and put it out there and give it away for free. That's something I could do. Ooh, I got a whole bunch of horror art I should give out. I should have giveaways for free in October too. If they did a Star Wars Rose Tico spinoff, I would puke up blood. Just saying. When am I going to be in Pensacola to visit Geeks and Gamers? I'm only a couple hours away from there. I will not be visiting Geeks and Gamers. I was invited by one of the listeners. I can't make it this year. I have the comic and then the website and a couple other things that I haven't told you guys about yet. That I'm basically busy the rest of this year. So I'm burning the candle on both ends, but that's okay. I'm not complaining at all. Reed Palancia, thank you very much. Great to be here. Been putting the word out about your comic. I think it's hilarious. Or they think it's hilarious. Well, thank you, Reed Palancia, very, very much. This is the last pitch I'm going to say for a while. It puts the comic back in comic books. This is a funny story. I found a way to include some other homage references. I'll put it like this. You will never see the end coming to this story. Not in a million years. We're not going to play the guessing game in the comments right now. But you are going to put it like this. The ending is going to happen. You're going to go, wow, I didn't see that one coming. He didn't lie to us back in September. He told us we would not see this ending coming, and you will not. There's so many. I really wish I could just say, here's the book. Get your copy today and read it today. But no, trust me, you're going to love the ending. That's all I can say. So I feel like there's a lot of people talking about Tropic Thunder. Do we want Tropic Thunder? Is that the movie for tonight? Or do we want Family Guy Star Wars? Let's see. Smokey and the Bandit. Come down for Pensacon. Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers is definitely on the list. I just want to wait for Dion because that's one of his favorite movies. That's the one thing I do on this channel because he has a family, and I understand that. I'm not acting like he needs to put us before his family. No, not in a million years. I get it. But when we do movies like that, I want to make sure I wait for Dion because Starship Troopers and Beverly Hills Cop and stuff like that, those are some of his favorites. And you got to have people that love the movies to talk about. We've had people on earlier streams that have disappeared where they don't really know the movie, so they just start talking randomly, and it sucks. So instead of having those issues, we just get people that love the movies. So we will do, I promise you, I'm making you a promise of the promise, we will do Starship Troopers this year. I just want to make sure Dion's available. Let's see. Fine, we'll play a game. Since there's a lot of... Put it like this: 1 for Tropic Thunder, 2 for Family Guy, and we'll pick right now. Make sure Family Guy has It's a Trap and all that shit available. Blue Harvest. Oh wait, I don't think they have everything on here. Episodes. Let's see. Season 5. Is this where Blue Harvest is? Meet the Quagmires. That was a great episode. It is a hard choice between the two. Oh my God. So I said what? 1? Was it 1 for Family Guy or was it 2? Now I Dark Durgle says because I can watch with my kids. Okay, so I guess 2 was Family Guy. There's a lot of people. Now, here's the thing, folks. If we do Family Guy, it's going to be all 3 of those episodes tonight. It's not just going to be, hey, this is this week, then next week, and then next week. It's the whole trilogy tonight. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much. You should have a Quantum Leap stream. Ooh, we'll have Nick involved. We'll have Nick involved because Nick loves Quantum Leap. That's his show. I spoiled the ending for him before he saw it. He got pissed off. He's like, dude, I didn't know that's how it ended. Okay, so Blue Harvest parts 1 and 2 are on Hulu. Let's go back. Does anybody know what season something Dark Side was in? So if that was season 6, let's try season 7. I love it. I get a brand new phone and it doesn't even want to fucking load. Depressing ending, yeah. But sometimes that's good. It makes you think. They never made it home. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie? Maybe one day. I've never seen the film. I just want to make sure something. Okay, they're all on here. I see something Dark Side. Now let's look for It's a Trap, and then we'll be in business. This is what we're going to do tonight. Oh, Phil, I got your message. I have Family Guy Star Wars on Blu-ray. I just don't have a Blu-ray drive on this computer, so I want to make sure everybody can watch it. All right, folks. Well, that's it. Family Guy Star Wars tonight. That's how we're spending our Friday night. We'll start at about, I don't know, 10 o'clock or so. That'd be a good time. Clint Eastwood and Firefox. Isn't that the movie with the plane movie? I thought so. Wow. We could do Stargate. There's a lot of love for sci-fi on this channel. Don't worry. There'll be a lot of sci-fi stuff. It's not going to be a thing we don't talk about. I've never seen Serenity or Firefly. Welcome back, John. Like I said, folks, if the city accidentally cuts our power due to this weird construction truck, just know that the show will go on tonight. Cadmium Red, you don't need to thank me. Like I said, this is in many ways, we're the people's podcast. And somebody gave me that name as a joke, but I do mean it. We give you guys what you want all the time. It's not necessarily just like I jokingly say, if it was just what I wanted to talk about, we'd talk about Axel Foley's jacket pins. Sometimes we just got to give everyone what they want. And we'll be here tonight, and we'll be able to talk about a good Star Wars parody, better than The Last Jedi. Oh, I doubt that the new James Bond movie is directed by Rian Johnson. Then I would feel like Hollywood would be having it out just for me personally. Just me personally. Yeah, I did say no, you're damn roll, Brad. Brad knows what's up. Hello, Brandon Moist. Dirty Harry. We could do Dirty Harry. Perkindo, I will let you know if I need your generator. Excuse me. I don't know why I couldn't read that. Brandon Moist, hello. Harrison Ford is James Bond. I don't know. Brandon Moist, thank you very much, and good morning to you, my friend, and hello. We talk about you always positively here on this channel. You are the spirit animal of world-class bullshitters, and we owe you so much. I should do Commando. We have already done Commando, actually. Our friend, wow, God, I know his real name, but I don't want to announce it on air. Tap and Die, our friend Tap and Die requested that for a Patreon commentary, and we covered that, and we had a great time. We had a fantastic time. Blippity Blop, I will let you know. Midnight Cherry TV still waiting on True Romance. $10 spent so far. Well, you won't have to spend another $1. I'll get myself a copy of it when I go to Amazon.com right now. Oh, wait, what's on Amazon? So I know you guys are going to be looking at this screen and going, what the fuck are you looking at, Jeff? This is an action figure available on Amazon, and I wanted to show it to you. While you guys are looking at this, Low-Keo7, thank you for Super Chat. Jeff, your thoughts on All In? I loved it. I loved All In. I had a fantastic time watching it. Went over to Phil's house. We had some pizza, good people, good times, great wrestling. If WWE was like this, I would never say a negative word about it, but it was just fun for, 4 hours straight? I didn't even look at my phone. We didn't talk. We didn't do anything. We had a great time. So, yeah, this is a Good Smile Igashira Figma action figure 250 scale. So I was looking up these Figma figures last night because we were talking about collectible stuff on the show yesterday. And after the show last night when it was rendering, I just thought, I'm listening to some stuff, and I wanted to look at some stuff, so I pulled this up. I typed in Figma, and I looked at Indiana Jones and other crap, but this popped up, and this is without a doubt the weirdest action figure I've ever seen. We talk about bad comic book art. Well, this is bad action figure art. This is based on a real man. He's a Japanese comedian. He's considered the most vulgar, profane Japanese comedian, and he got his own action figure. He's been featured in video games. He's got a yoga book. His name is Igashara 250, so you guys can check it out. Yes, he is fisting his pants. That is a special piece of action figure that he puts his hand in his pants. It's weird. I probably would love True Romance. I just keep forgetting, guys. Yeah, Japan has a weird sense of humor, but you know what? It's a different part of the world. I dig it. I'm glad they're not just like us. In many ways, Japan is the last bastion of hope for great video game storytelling because they're not going to fall into this stupid Western ideological bullshit that's permeating all of our video games. You know, they may have Igashara 250, but they also have Legend of Zelda and Super Mario. And real quick, shout out for the people that were affected by that damn earthquake in Japan. We were supposed to get a big Nintendo Direct press conference, but a huge why do I want to keep saying hurricane? A huge earthquake rocked the cities. Was it Hokkaido? It was some big city in Japan, and people died, so they had to wait. So hopefully everyone's all right, and I think it was a good move for them to wait. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much for your super chat. How about a James Bond TV series, maybe following other 00 agents? I'd be fine with that if they did it like a Netflix show where it followed, maybe have Moneypenny in it and another actor, and they go to these things, they talk about James Bond, and then maybe it leads up to the film, and it only enhances it. So if a character pops up in the film, you'd be like, oh, that's Dwayne T. Robinson, 003. Oh, okay. I saw him on the TV show. So you can watch the movie without seeing anything, but if you watch the show and the movie, you get a better experience. James Bond Jr., I watched James Bond Jr. big time. Point of Light prods, I didn't realize that. When I was playing through Zelda, I was thinking to myself, man, if this was made in America, I'd be playing as Zelda and be told how, she's this great whatever. Jetlocks, this is an action figure available on Amazon. This is nothing inappropriate. Amazon.com is completely compatible with Google's terms of service. But I just wanted to show you guys this. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen on the internet. It's an Igashara 250 action figure. It's $56.80. I told the guys last night, if these were $20, I'd buy them for all of us, and we'd have them on camera when we do our live show. Just our little Igashira figure. A young Indiana Jones TV show breakdown. Oh, I haven't seen all those episodes in years. I have the collectible cards. Have I heard about the West Wing reboot? I haven't. I have only seen like 2 or 3 episodes of the West Wing proper, so I'll have to go back and read about that news. If this guy is good, I'm going to buy this and put it on a desk at work. What a conversation starter. What about doing a stream of ghost stories, a new comedy horror? You send me a message about that. I like comedy horror. I'm down. No one here has seen it, but there's a thing called Todd and the Book of Pure Evil, and that was a fantastic horror comedy show. They should make a Zelda movie, but done right. Oh, I love Zelda. I would love to see that. Mafia Month, Casino, Goodfellas, The Departed, and more. I think everyone here would love a Mafia Month. Let me write that down, because that actually is a... Look, a lot of these suggestions have been great. I'd say most of them. But Mafia Month needs to be a thing. There's my pencil. I just really like the idea. Mafia Month. So we do Goodfellas, Casino. I guess I'd have to see The Godfather for this. All kinds of stuff. We could do a Mafia Month. Do we do that? Is that a nice gap between, Christmas and Halloween? Like, do we do that in November? Maybe. I feel kind of family-oriented in November. The Japanese Kylo Ren. Yeah, this guy could beat Kylo Ren in a fight. Just putting that out there. So we all seen enough of Igashara 250. He's going to go away in 3, 2, 1. Boom. There you go. Nothing like clicking away and missing the button you're intending to click on. Does Heat qualify as a mafia movie? I don't know if it qualifies as a mafia movie, but it's a fantastic movie. If we had a big enough audience, we'd do Michael Mann month, where we do Miami Vice stuff, Heat, and what was that other one that he did? Not Mindhunter, the one with the guy from CSI. God, why can't I think of a movie off the top of my head? You know what I'm talking about. How about Mafia Mondays rather than a solid month of Mafia movies? That's not a bad idea. If we did a Mafia month, we would do like maybe only would be like a stream or 2 a week anyway, maybe like a Saturday or Sunday night type of thing. It wouldn't be, I don't have it in me to do movie streams every night of a month. I would just be burnt out. Brandon Moist says, Moist movie marathon movies involving ship/water. I feel like we could do that. That could be fun. Robert says, Jeff, the only thing better than the list of movies you're into is a list of movies you haven't seen yet. LOL, love you, bro. I love you too, Robert. Yeah, I guess we could finally watch E.T. and The Godfather. I'll watch E.T. and The Godfather when everyone here's watched Bad Taste by Peter Jackson. Oh, speaking of movies I had never seen before that I'm finally watching, I hadn't seen all of it in years, but Mad Max. I caught it on IFC a decade ago, more. When I was in late grade school, I caught Mad Max on IFC, but I caught it at the part where the guy had to cut his own foot off and then through the end of the movie. So yesterday I sat down before the show and watched most of it. I got to the part where he goes to the hospital to see his buddy all burnt up. Talk about a cool movie for super low budget. I love dystopian stuff. If Christmas wasn't December, it'd be dystopian December. Stream the Power Rangers Ninja Turtle crossover. Oh my God, I don't think I can handle that. Yes, I've seen Ronin with Robert De Niro. That's a very good movie. I like Jean Reno as well. I'm surprised Jean Reno was never in a James Bond flick. Yeah, he was in Mission Impossible, but just isn't the same. Yes, it is free. Bad Taste is free on YouTube. I also own the DVD, or excuse me, I own the VHS of it. I like Brain Dead as well. I love Peter Jackson movies, the old ones. I don't do Lord of the Rings. I gotta watch Lord of the Rings, I guess, for you guys. One of these days. Yeah, Ronin does have a fantastic car chase. The older I get, you know, it's another pretty good movie that reminds me of Ronin, but it's not like it at all. It's Copland. Anyone here seen Copland? That was a pretty good movie. Max's burnt buddy was supposed to be humongous in The Road Warrior. You know, Buddy, I thought the actor that played Max's burnt buddy was really good. Like, I actually liked him a lot. So that serves the purpose, you know, his purpose. He's supposed to be likable, then goes through a terrible thing, and then Max avenges him. But when I was watching, I'm thinking to myself, this guy has pretty good charisma. What else is he in? And I would watch him in other movies if he plays like a similar, you know, character, because I liked him. I'm going to have to check that up, Orbital Layer. People like Copland. It was good. It was all right. It was great. Okay. So it looks like we have a wide variety of opinions on Copland. I finally realized that Stallone could actually, you know, act when I saw Copland. I'm surprised how much stuff Stallone has written. Like, I'll give Stallone credit. Maybe he's a joke in a lot of stuff. Rocky V, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, Judge Dredd, Demolition Man. I like Demolition Man. Cliffhanger. I like Cliffhanger too. It's not good, but I like it. No, but Stallone's a little smarter than we all realize, and I have respect for Sylvester Stallone. Rocky's a very inspirational film to men and women all over. You know, like when he runs the stairs and does all that shit, you're into it. You feel it. When he, you know, loses, you're like, man, he went the distance. I wish I would have won. Wish he would have won, but you know, I still went on the journey with him. Did I watch Mad Max in Australian accent? Are you asking if I watched the original thing or did I listen to it with an Australian accent? Because I was watching, my mom walked in. She's like, is this in English? And I was like, yes, Mom. These are people in Australia speaking. And she goes, oh, it took me a minute. So I did watch the Australian accent version, if that's what you're asking. Stephen Bisley is the actor in Mad Max. Oh, okay. Timothy Riggs, thank you very much. Kurosawa movie marathon needs to happen. All right. I'll check those out. Let me watch those first because I know George Lucas was inspired for them with Star Wars, and I want to be able to make sure I can, say, hey, Lucas was inspired, by this, Seven Samurai, or what was the one where it followed the two side characters, is where C-3PO and R2-D2, their story came from. I need to check that one out. Hidden Fortress, I believe, is what it's called. Stephen Morgan, great question. Best fight, They Live or Goldeneye? Well, thank you, Stephen. Let me think about that for a moment. Now, when you mean Goldeneye, you mean the final battle between Trevelyan and 007, right? I know I'm going to get some hate for this, but I'm going to go with Goldeneye. Now, hear me out before you start typing in your angry Fs. They Live has a great 5-minute fight scene. But after, you watch it 20 times, you're just like, okay, here comes the 5-minute fight scene. And it's just two guys in an alley. Yes, it's visceral. Yes, it's fairly realistic in terms of that stuff. But the Goldeneye fight scene, it starts with Bond, running down the rampway of the cradle. Then he goes into the little housing unit, and they start fighting, and it's really intense. And then it ends on that the part at the bottom of the cradle, the suspension tower. And I think the fight has a better ending. For England James, no, for me, and he just drops him. That fight scene is for anyone that thinks Pierce Brosnan's James Bond is lame and weak. No, he's the only Bond to shoot somebody in the head at point blank. He drops a dude to his death, stares him in the eye while he does it. Just some badass shit. And I like the fight scene in GoldenEye over They Live. Now, is They Live a better movie? Oh, man. See, that's where do you go for what is a better made film or what do you like emotionally more? And I still think GoldenEye is a better made movie over They Live. But I'll stand by John Carpenter being a better director than Martin Campbell overall. Martin Campbell did Zorro, GoldenEye, Casino Royale. Those are the only three. Oh, he also did Green Lantern. So those are the only 4 movies I've seen. I've seen almost all of Carpenter's flicks, and I think all of them have some merit and range from great to pretty good. So that's a long way of answering it, Stephen Morgan, but thank you very much. Now I'm having an internal struggle. Which do I like more? And no, it's GoldenEye, hands down. David Cook, thank you very much. Movie marathon with horses. Dion is required. All right, we can do that. So, we'll do Zorro, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and The Godfather. Lots of horses. Hidden Fortress, okay, that's the movie. Kurosawa, all in Japanese, black and white, tough to do a watch party. Very true, Keith, but how about if we do one, you guys, you pull up Star Wars or something, and we'll do like parallels. That way you guys watch Star Wars, we watch Kurosawa, and we talk about that. Let's see. Grendel Fan 84, thank you very much. Carl and John McClane, best fight. Ooh, that's an excellent one. First, I'm going to cook you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to eat you, or whatever he says there. Kill you, cook you, eat you. I love that fight. I'm thinking about it right now. There's something about Die Hard, and I say this all the time, but there's something about it when I think about so it's a 3-act film. The first act ends when McClane gets into the vent, and then that final act is where it all goes crazy. There is something just about the final act of Die Hard that even gives me a little bit of goosebumps when I think about it. It's so well paced. It's so intense. And like Hot Fuzz and Star Wars and other movies that I love, it builds to the ending. And then you get that big climax and then it ends and it's over. There's a little bit of resolution and the story is over. Die Hard has that. And that final fight between Carl and John McClane, I'm thinking the part where he's got him chained up and he runs, he's like, and he throws him into the wall and he hangs there and you think he dies. Fucking intense, man. And I love how he's like talking shit to him, like, when I broke your brother's neck and all this shit, and they're like falling down the stairs and just beating the hell out of each other. And then McClane gets shot and he gives out the girliest scream, and he runs through the door. Fantastic movie. 10 out of 10. Die Hard. I could watch it every day of the week. I should watch it every day of the week once. But thank you, Grendel Fan. Murat Dialine, thank you very much. EVS was a man in a tree whose whiskers were lovely to see, but the birds of the air plucked him perfectly bare. Such a shame that he didn't foresee. Oh, poor Uncle Ethan. Murat Dialine, I'm so glad that you brought the limericks to this channel because other people are partaking in them, and they're a lot of fun. And if you notice, now I catch on right away. I start reading the chat and I'm like, oh, wait, I have to adjust. So they're part of the show now. We have our coffee, we have our action figures, we have bad art, and we have the limerick. So Merethialine, good morning, pop culture, owes you a thank you. And Uncle Ethan, well, he'll probably be angry with you. He's got to go get Daddy's belt. Oh my God, Lethal Weapon 1 through 4. That's a Dion. That's a Dion stream. That's a Dion stream. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much. The GoldenEye fight sold me on Brosnan as being my favorite James Bond. Just a pity his next Bond films were never really as good. Well, Stephen, let's talk about it for a moment. Brosnan sold me on Bond. Well, I first saw Connery and Goldfinger, but Brosnan, I knew Pierce Brosnan. So as a little kid, like I had never seen Sean Connery in a film. I didn't know who he was. I just saw James Bond. And I was like, okay, this is an older movie, and that's James Bond. And I liked it. I never once thought the old Bond movies were too dated for me to enjoy. I mean, listen to who you're talking to. My movie collection goes back pretty far, and my favorite stuff came out before I was born. But when I saw Brosnan, I had seen, my grandma and my mom took me to see Mrs. Doubtfire in theaters. So when I saw GoldenEye, I was like, that's the guy from Mrs. Doubtfire. And when I first saw that movie, I was sold. He was so cool and slick, and he's, you know, if you really watch those, you know, with a closer lens, he's a pretty violent James Bond, and that's how the character should be, very violent. Now, Tomorrow Never Dies, I don't think is a bad movie. It has one thing over GoldenEye. It has a better score, much better soundtrack overall. But I like the plot of Tomorrow Never Dies about media manipulation. They want to remake all these old classic Bond films with Daniel Craig. Remake Tomorrow Never Dies with the social media era and talk about fake news and all this other stuff. That, to me, would be a much more compelling James Bond flick than anything they could put out today with modern SJW politics or anything they could do with the world theater in terms of politics and stuff like that. Media manipulation is so important now, and James Bond being involved with it would be really cool. Tomorrow Never Dies was 20 years ahead of its time. If people go back and watch that movie through that lens, through the lens I'm talking about, you may have more respect for it. Is it perfect? No, it has some dumb elements, but it's got a kick-ass car chase, and it has a pretty good theme song, as well as just good action. That when he fights, what's his name, Mr. Stamper at the end, when he's attached to that rocket, and he stabs the dude in the leg, and Stamper doesn't stop. So he takes the knife out from his leg, cuts himself out of the vest, and then dives into the water, and then the whole shit explodes. Pretty fucking cool, if you ask me. The World's Not Enough has its problems. I still like it. It's solid. It's better than most of the James Bond flicks that came after it. And some before. Die Another Day is garbage. Not even going to act like it's good. So, Steven, I love GoldenEye. It's probably it is my favorite Bond flick. Pierce Brosnan tied for Connery is the best Bond in my eyes. The other ones are okay. Timothy Riggs, thank you very much. Die Hard is one of my favorite, Die Hard is one of the only few movies I consider damn near perfect. Die Hard hits so many things that resonate with men. It's amazing. Very true. Now that could be an interesting video for me to put together towards the end of the year about, Die Hard and I don't want to say the ideal masculinity in a film, but the thing is, McClane's not perfect, and neither are we. I think it's humans in general, and our audience is 95% male. That's funny when people talk about there's 52% female in the United States. That's the audience. No, look, that may be the population, but your audience is a very specific small group, and our audience is 96% male. So I'll use your words because I do agree with them. But as a guy, McClane is so much more relatable. I mean, I look to him and see fault. When you watch Rambo or The Terminator, who's not even a fucking person, these still Schwarzenegger flicks, he takes on an entire army by himself. One arm is a machine gun, shoots buildings, they explode. All this crazy shit happens. It's fantasy at the highest level. Die Hard takes the action star and brings it back a little bit. Hell, even Indiana Jones has more faults than Stallone and Schwarzenegger flicks, but we're talking about Die Hard. McClane has a messed up relationship with his wife. He's estranged from his kids. He wants that. You can tell, too, everything was going perfectly with McClane and Holly until he brings up about, Miss Gennaro now, you'll still sign checks and all that stuff. And then after he says it, he has that moment of, fuck, it was going so well. I had it working and I messed it up. And I didn't even get to speak again until the very end of the movie. So his guilt and his desire to save his wife and whatever brings him on this incredible journey. but he's a real character. He's a real person. That's why I think McClane works so well. Plus, you have fantastic villains. You have very basic good versus evil. Now, some people say, well, Hans Gruber is more of a gray character. No, he's straight up a bad guy. He may lie and be deceitful and be charming to a lot of us, but Hans Gruber is just a crook, a basic crook. He's just stealing a lot of money. That's his whole plan. He's not like the Joker where he's talking about, you want to know how I got these scars or humanity or this and that. He puts on a front. He's fun. He's basic. It works. The villains, the 30, not the 30. How many Sarahs are there? 12, 10? The armed guys that go and attack. There's 30 people in the building for the party. Or there's 32 floors, whatever. They're just, they're great too. They're what they need to be. I wouldn't change a single frame. The only thing I would change about Die Hard was if it was shot clear, because there are some out of focus shots. Other than that, maybe it works though. Maybe that's why the movie hits you on a certain level too, because it's intense and guerrilla style in many places. So I'm with you, Tim, about it's one of the few movies I would consider damn near perfect. That's why it's my third favorite flick of all time. Star Wars, Back to the Future, Star Wars, Die Hard. That's my holy trilogy of films, even though it's not a trilogy. Fine, holy trinity of films, if you will. Let's see. Our friend Steven sends another super chat. Thank you, Steven. It's great hearing you talk about James Bond. Always cool to hear your perspective. Thanks, Jeff. GoldenEye is my favorite Bond. Steven, thank you very much. Again, thank you for the generous Batman gift. I appreciate that. It is my favorite cartoon, and I'll do an unboxing video and stuff. Just remind me. But I do love talking about Bond. He's my favorite fictional character. Yeah, I'm critical at times of James Bond, but because it can be so much better than it is now. That's why. See, that's what pisses me off about just entertainment fans in general. Just because you critique something doesn't mean you don't love it. Now, I don't believe in critiquing a person and picking them apart. No, that's just not what you do. But a product, something that you pay money for, something that you give time to, you can critique. So if I go out and I buy, I don't know, some expensive doll or some Hot Toys figure or something, and I look at it and it looks pretty good, but some of the paint's sloppy or the figure's clothing was sewn poorly in a certain spot, I critique it because I paid for it, but more importantly, it could be better, and I want it to be better because it represents something I care about. And that's how I am with Bond. That's how I am with Star Wars, all these things. I don't critique them because I'm some angry dude who can't do his own shit. No, I can. I can do my own stuff. But when they have proven to be either the longest running franchise or the most successful franchise or the best franchise, I expect more. That's why I'm so angry about this impending Marvel possible fiasco with Captain Marvel. Why? Because I've had 10 years of just excellent feelings towards the MCU and a lot of fun. And I want to continue that. On average, I say most people like the MCU. Some people have different flicks they like. Some people, like the ones I hate, and I hate the ones they like, and that's fine. So is life. But I want to keep that goodwill and happiness towards the MCU. And to me, it's like the perfect franchise. And not that every film is a 10 out of 10, but I like all of them. I like some less. Hell, I even talk shit about Homecoming, but I don't outright hate the movie. There are worse Spider-Man films. There are worse Hulk movies than The Incredible Hulk. I don't want to live in a world where it's 20 really good to great movies, and then you got the one stinker. And then everyone tells you that it's so great and that you're the problem because it stinks. They didn't pull it with Wonder Woman, they pulled it with The Last Jedi. So expect Marvel to become Star Wars in 2019. I almost said 2020. Mareth Dealine, thank you very much. Those horses fill Dion with fear. He'll run till he sees it's all clear. But Jeff has a plan to torture this man and chase him on horseback all year. Yes. Mareth Dealine, I am saving that one as well. I saved the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkeys yesterday, and now I'm saving yours to add it to the list. That is an all-time great, and I want to share it with Dion. I want to fuck with my best friend. Sometimes it sounds like I'm being mean, but we love each other as friends. There's no we're like the brother each of us never had. He has a twin sister. I have no siblings, but it's great how well I get along with his family. And I like to give him shit. So some people are like, man, you're really mean to Dion. He's your best friend. He is my best friend. He will always be my best friend. But I'm going to give him some shit for, being afraid of horses. I'm not afraid. Dude, you cross the street when you see horses. So let's get caught up. Thank you to everyone who's joined us this morning. Great turnout, great chat, great comments. Steven, really, I love talking about Bond. It's just my thing. American Trent 007, I don't know if he's here right now, but he's a big Bond fan too. And it was interesting because he had just got into Bond. And so it was like his first experience. It was so fun. So what I'm trying to do is cross James Bond with that game Half-Life 2, mostly with the mission Water Hazard where the Hunter Chopper chases you. Gamepad 31, anything you want to cross with James Bond, I'll play. I'll play that in a heartbeat. Her name's Freeman, Gordon Freeman. Yeah, dudes rip on each other. That's how it is. That's just exactly how it is, 100%. He and I, talk shit to each other left and right, and that's fine. It's just, how our friendship is built. But I'll drive 5 hours north to go visit his ass every New Year's and take him and his family and the kids and all that shit Christmas gifts because we're all tight. Hell, I'll be honest. I'm closer with Dion, Hillary, the kids, and his sister Diane more than I am part of my own family. I don't give my family Christmas gifts. I don't go out of my way to see them. And they live 20 minutes away. Hell, 10. Most of my family lives on this end of town. I don't see them. My cousin that lives really far away, she drives down to visit my grandma and me all the time. So I don't have a bad family. I'm not bitching or trying to, act like, oh, I come from whatever, or I got bad people. But I'm just saying how close we are. I do give shit to Dion, but, at the end of the day, to use his catchphrase, we are best buddies. I've never seen links of horses biting people, but if you want Dion's personal email address, all you got to do is join our Patreon page. It'll be posted there, and you can... no, I'm just joking. I'd never give out his personal email address, but I'll watch the links to the videos if you want to post them on Facebook. Yeah, Dion gives it right back. Let's see. The first issue of the Bond Origin just came out this week. Takes place during World War II. It's actually pretty good. Grendel fan, I'm going to take your word for it, and I'm going to check it out. I'll support my local comic book shop. I support Comics Elite. Everyone out there should. They're the best comic book store in Indianapolis. Hell, they're the best comic book shop from Indianapolis to California and everything in between. Rock and Rooster here in Cincinnati has a very special place in my heart, but Comics Elite is a damn fine store. My wife got bit by a horse once. She doesn't recommend it. Oh, my God. John, if you're ever listening to World Class Bullshitters or a stream with Dion, make sure you bring that up. I want to hear how he reacts to that. Becky Browland, thank you very much. World Class Bullshitters is a good way to start the day. It is. It's a good morning. Pop Culture is the best internet radio show. And our friend Tim Riggs has given me some ideas, some pointers on how to make it better. So when the show comes at you way better, let's not get excited for me, but let's thank Timothy Riggs because that dude is a super fan. He traveled a long way to come visit us at Indianapolis Horror Hound. He brought us tequila. He brought Dion the Purple Dildo, and he hung out with us into the late hours, and he was awesome. So let's just give a shout out to that dude because, I talk about, the People's Podcast. People have ideas and stuff that they want to, they throw our way, and they're good. And I don't have this ego where I have to say, well, it's my show and it has to be done my way. No, look, if you guys got ideas to make the show better, we listen and we implement them. And, if they're good, we implement them. So thank you. Grendel Fan 84. Jeff, WCBS is the best channel on the interwebs. Grendel Fan 84, thank you. By the way, folks, Grendel Fan 84, I told this story before, but I'll tell it again. He was so awesome. He came to Horror Hound, hung out with us. He had a Cyberfrog shirt on. And then we all went to dinner, and he showed us around the downtown area for a little while. And he was such a cool guy. And, if you ever do get a chance to hang out with us, please do. Grendel Fan will attest that it's a good time. Ever read medieval accounts of battle mounts biting people's face off? I have never read that. Never. Oh my God. Let's send that to Dion. That'll be a great way to start the day. Jeff, the latest Bond news is having a female director. I don't care. I just want it to be good. I do too. I want it to be all there on the screen. It's got to be a quality flick first. Wayne's World is one of my top 10 favorite flicks, directed by a woman. Don't care. Thing is, if people knew me, I'm not anti-female at all. I get along great with women. I have no issues with... I think the only thing I've ever jokingly said is I don't really want a female firefighter to try to save me because I'm so big, and there needs to be a dude that's, can lift a lot of weight to get me out. Other than that, I've had no, I think I've had 90%, 99% female teachers. I've only had, well, not 99%, that'd be stupid, but it's probably like a 90-10 differential. And there's no difference. I don't have any problems. I love how people on the internet want to say how we're intimidated by women and all this shit. Clearly, if you listen to this show, we're not. And, everybody is cool with me. That's all I can say. Okay, Grindel fan had a great time. All right, cool, man. Great time. Grindel fan, I don't think he took pictures. There's pictures of some of the stuff we did with superfan Adam Shawhan, but I don't know if Grindel fan, if we took a bunch of photos. I like every man, woman, dog, etc. Yeah, everybody. Have I considered about making a video about how to look after a franchise and compare different successful franchises that have done the right thing? That is a great idea. Let me just copy paste that whole thing, Locktaw. That's a great idea. Let's see, copy. That is a really good idea. Thank you. I got the next one I'm working on, the nostalgia tax. That's going to be fun. I'm going to get that out for this weekend, so you guys have another video. And look, I know you guys want those. I want to make them too. It's funny. Had you had a way to talk to my mom, she's like, so you seem happy today. I said, yeah, Mom, I made a video, a regular video like I was doing over the summer. They're so fun to make. They're satisfying. I sit down, I write them, I perform them, I edit them. There's jokes. Johnson Dip became a thing. It's just, I don't know. I take the most pride out of those. I love the streams. I love getting to know you guys. That's how we have a community the way we do. For anyone that would say like, oh, this community is made of a bunch of terrible people. No, we come together. We have fun. I mean, Stealing Solo wouldn't be the success it is in such a short period of time without all of you out there. So they need to just really take a look and see what we're about. But those videos just let me get out there in another way. And I'm going to be making them more often because they're so much fun. Let's see. Mareth Dealine, thank you very much for your generous super chat. Jeff is the man with the muff. It's lovely and fluffy, not rough. We made it a meme where we laugh till we scream. Jeff's muff, that's not rough. It's quite tough. People be like, why does this Jeff guy have a muff? And I'm like, well, you got to listen to the show to see where the muff came from. Holdo's muff. That dude, is he here today? I'm going to check. I can check who's here. No, Holdo's muff is not here this morning. Oh, man. All the love and praise to Holdo's muff, and he's not even here to listen to it. I'm hurt emotionally. No, but thank you, Mareth Dealine. I love those. We've definitely come up with more than enough memes. It's kind of hard to decide who's meme winner of the week. And at the end of the year, we're going to do we joked about it last night on the podcast, but we're going to do like an end of the year awards for, the fans type of thing. And I'm going to send out, if you guys are comfortable with it, I'm going to send you out like a free little gift bag of some stuff. But that'll be coming towards the end of the year, maybe early January, so we can look back at everything we've done and remember this. So you guys know, some people know what's coming up. There may be a Brandon Moist award or a Limerick award or, just, stuff like that. But it's a way we want to tell you, a way to tell you thanks. How to Draw Comics by Jeff. It's funny. I actually did work on a how to draw thing, but I actually did like I wrote like a 90-page book, including illustrations. I just never finished it. Maybe I should go back and rework it and put it back out down the road after the success of Stealing Solo. It's like, hey, Stealing Solo made $72 billion. Do you want to know how? Follow this book. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much. Let's hope this SJW feminist movement dies. Halo Reach style. On the beach. It's not even there. Whatever this SJW agenda crusade is nowadays, it's not even beneficial. Like, it's not about equality. It's about something else. It's about weird moral superiority and bending the knee to bullshit. And we don't bend the knee to bullshit. We don't, there was this old saying that Dustin used to say, Jeff Hicks yields to no man. Well, world-class bullshitters yields to no SJW politic bullshit. No rhetoric, no garbage. We're a show for people. We want to entertain you. We do that. We stay true. We're honest all the time. And if we disagree with what they're doing, we're not going to worry about apologizing. We don't get woke here on the channel. That's not how we do it. We get honest, and we talk to your average everyday people, ones with, level heads. It's not about trying to get diversity points or what is that? Inclusion points, brownie points. You don't that kind of shit doesn't matter here on the channel. We call out the stupidity when we see it. And it's so funny when they try to say how we're this angry white man show with, 3 brown dudes and 1 white guy. It's funny. We're the show that they all fight for, but because we don't have the opinions they have, they just, shun us. So they're hypocrites. Thank you, superfan Adam Shawhan. I appreciate the plug. And Adam's down to tell people to join the Patreon page for exclusive Star Wars content. No, actually, we don't really talk about Star Wars on the Patreon. We get into some darker stuff, and I don't mean in terms of like, horror related stuff. We just talk. We're more candid off air type of thing. It's fun though. There's 300 patrons, and people love it. So we just, if you really, really want more, this weekend you're getting an extra podcast on there, Adam. So if you're like, man, I listened to everything they've done and I'm bored, well, you have another 90-minute show. And it wasn't planned. It just kind of was an impromptu podcast. I want to put it together and edit it, and it's a lot of fun. And by the way, folks, if you listen to the streaming version of the podcast on iTunes or Podbean or Stitcher or whatever other platform we're on, could you do me a favor and could you tell me how it sounds? Because we tested something different this week. I had all the guys record their own audio tracks through Audacity in high bit rate, and then they emailed it to me as a high quality MP3, and then I spliced it together and I got the timing down. But we this is our first time doing it, so if you guys could tell me how it sounds, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it sounds a lot clearer. I just want to make sure you guys like it, because it was a little more work, but that's not the issue. It's about sounding better. And sometimes Google Hangouts has some weird flubs, and I don't like that. So that was my point to do it, and let me know how it sounds. I'd love to go get some Tim Hortons, Brad, but you know what? Tim Hortons, they all closed in my area. You can Google it. All the Tim Hortons in the Cincinnati area are gone. Tim Hortons, like themselves, just pulled out. All of them. There are no more. They ceased to be. I like Tim Hortons. They had the best honey cruller donuts and some really good coffee, but they're no more. They're gone. So I have to go to Michigan to get my Tim Hortons fixed. Okay, so it sounds better than YouTube. Okay. What episode did I do this on? Last night's show. So if you guys if you haven't listened to the live stream version, go back and listen to the one over on Podbean to let me know how it sounds. It's weird, Jeff. Jeff, it's weird how much you look like my oldest cousin, except he's 5'1". So Gerhard, I looked like your cousin when I was 5'1" at 5 years old. Honestly, I'm not trying to sound funny. I was 5 feet tall at 5 years old. So that'd be weird. I'm your giant Americanized cousin. Stephen Morgan says, do you have a portfolio of past art you've done? Is Stealing Solo your first comic? Stephen, it is not my first comic. Oh, Holdo's Muff is now here. So no, it is not my first comic. I have done other comics. I was on a paying job for a while, but the writer ran out of money. So I was willing to do more and he could pay me down the road, but the books have never actually seen print. They had a colorist that they went to and a letter and all that stuff. It was a pretty solid superhero story. It was different than stuff people had read, and I was proud of the work. But that was 2015, and I've advanced a lot. Do I have portfolio work? I have an Instagram account. I almost said an Indiegogo account. I do have one of those for Stealing Solo. Check it out. But no, I have an Instagram account where I posted some sketches. Nothing really finished. But I am going to start showing a lot more of this work. We had a new idea. Our friend, I won't say his name on air, but he came up with this cool concept that he told me to use about the Stealing Solo cover. And so I've been putting it together piece by piece because I draw digitally. And so as soon as that's done, I may show you the black and white. I'm so proud of the concept. I'll give it credit to our friend, the gold lightsaber. It was such a cool concept, and now I've kind of tweaked it a little bit, and the final product I'm very proud of. So you're going to see a lot more. But if you want to see stuff I've drawn, I'm on Instagram. It's just rough pencil sketches of naked ladies and Chipotle burritos and stuff like that. But finished art, I don't have too much posted. And then I had an old comic called Anthology I did years ago that never saw the light of day. Completed it, all 32 pages, cover, everything, lettered, colored, all that. And I'm going to give that as an ash can for the stretch goal. And then I'm going to do even a bigger stretch goal. I'm going to give you guys a full-size version and have it recolored and everything, because I've talked to a bunch of colorists and I've looked into the economics of it. And it would be worth it to give you guys 2 comics. It'd be a lot of fun. You can see how far I've come from 2013/14 to 2018. and you can see how my style continues to evolve and get you excited for what could possibly come next. Black Wolf says, "What's up, world class bullshitters? Like your show, just lurking, good listening while I'm on the way home from night shift." Black Wolf, thank you very much for checking us out on the way home from the night shift. Hopefully it wasn't too crazy. Go home, get some sleep, wake up. If you got to do it again, we're going to be streaming tonight. If you work at a job where you can listen to us, check us out. If not, check us out tomorrow on the way home. Won't be awake tomorrow morning at this time, but we'll have some content you can catch up on. Jeff must have been crazy busy the last couple of weeks. Oh, you've been crazy busy, Holders. Hey, you don't ever look at folks. If you can't make it to a stream, I know people have lives. I appreciate that you give us the time you do now. So don't ever apologize, Holders Muff. I know you love the channel, so it's cool. I was on Intrepid Dawn's live stream, and he said that Starfleet wouldn't be able to puncture through the shields of a Star Destroyer. Thoughts? I'm a Star Wars guy over Star Trek, so I'm going to go with, yeah, come on, Empire, kick some ass. I'm hoping. This channel is pop culture crack. I like that. I like that phrase a lot, actually. Thank you, Apollo Creed. Still love your screen name, by the way. And Scott Lazar's, I hate when you miss us, too, because I miss you so much. Jeff, do you know about the auction of movie memorabilia in the UK? There's a hoverboard from Back to the Future. Ooh. I guess I could take my life savings and get that. No, I haven't heard about that, though. No. I do love Back to the Future stuff. I think if I was going to get one piece of movie memorabilia, even though I'm really down on Disney Star Wars, I'd love to either own a screen-used Millennium Falcon model from A New Hope, because there's a difference, slightly. Or I would really love, and this isn't even a piece of movie memorabilia, it probably cost $1 million, but the original painting for the Star Wars, I believe it was Sheet C one, where Luke Skywalker's holding the gun at the screen. I'd love the original painting for that. That would be like my ultimate movie thing. Or, no, the ultimate would be the Aston Martin DB5. Straight up. Just any DB5 that's that sky silver color. That's the ultimate one for me. Stephen Morgan says, I know EVS does this, but have you ever thought about streaming your drawing requests from the World Class Bullshitters fans? Yes, I have, Stephen. Like I said, I do it digitally, which is on a completely different computer. So I have to see if, because the thing is, when I open up certain Windows programs, I can't use the Google screen capture for that. So I have to look into it. But I want to do more stuff like that. Another thing too, when I draw like the Stealing Solo stuff, I'm kind of one of those people where I don't talk, I'm real quiet, and I don't have interaction. Like, I don't even like to draw when people come into the room. It's not that I'm like nervous or afraid. I feel like people are watching me over my shoulder and I can't focus on the thing itself. So I could play around with some live streaming stuff for some promotional stuff. The Bullshitters and I have a couple commercials and ideas that we've come up with that we're going to start putting out this weekend. I just the production aspect of this, I just want to make sure I'm showing the best stuff. Originally my plan was, hey, I'm just going to show you guys the pages in sequential order. And then I thought, a movie trailer doesn't show you the movie in order. It shows you the coolest parts. So I want to show you guys the coolest parts, because to be fair, this book is essentially cool part after cool part. I mean, I want to tell you about how the fucking story ends so bad, but I can't. And I won't, because you got to check it out. But there's so much going on. Raul Valdez is right. Real life Harrison Ford and Cartwright, the ultimate movie memorabilia. Blippity Blop says, completely understand. Also prefer drawing alone, maybe with some classical music playing. I do music sometimes. Right now I'm in the middle of podcasts when I draw. The Chris Jericho Talk is Jericho podcast, fantastic show. Love to listen to it. And I will lose hours, because I used to not ink my own artwork, and now I'm at a point where I ink a lot of my artwork, or I ink all of it, and I enjoy it. I get the tools out and I do the curves and the line weight and all that stuff, and I really get lost in it. I'm not the fastest artist, but I do put the time into it, and I'm really happy with it. Let's see. Everyone on this channel reminds me of the old Top Gear. Now the Grand Tour crew. Jeff's the Clarkson. Cool. I like Top Gear. Like I've said on it as a joke on old episodes, I want to live that lifestyle. The stuff they show on Top Gear is cool as shit. I basically want to live the James Bond lifestyle minus the killing. and be more personable because his life is kind of cold and boring. I like people. I just like cool shit too. Holdo's Muff, thank you very much. Let's play a game. Guess how Jeff's stories end. Thank you for your super chat. Holdo's Muff. I don't think anyone will guess how Stealing Solo truly ends. So it's going to be an interesting game to play. Yeah, pretty much Propala Creed. I like cars. I like cars and all that stuff you talked about. Let me see if there's any terms of art that I can show you guys. Because some of the stuff I'm just not going to post here on Twitter. Or not Twitter. On this shit. Because I don't really want to give the wrong idea of the book. Or I don't want to really put something on the stream that'll get us shut down. That's a picture of a rum ham. These aren't really finished. Yeah, there's really nothing that's too finished on here that I want to show. You guys can check it out. Golgo 13. I drew Golgo. Does anyone here like Golgo 13, the manga or anime character? I drew him years ago. Let's see, I can't really open it in a new tab or else I'd show it. Let's see. Yeah, people are like, Rum Ham. I'm so pissed that I can't watch the new episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia on Hulu anymore. Salvador, thank you very much for your super chat and good morning. Good morning, Jeff. Have you ever considered making a video touring your favorite comic book / collectible shops or even reviewing your personal collection? Salvador, there is something I'm working on that touches on that. American Trent knows a little bit more about that because he's our sixth bullshitter, a bullshitter in the waiting, if you will. I do like that idea. I've considered that. I'm very close with my local comic book shop, Rock and Rooster. Friends with them. I see them out in public. The one guy, Dave, it's owned by a guy named Rick and a guy named Dave. They're both great guys to me. Very kind, very polite. They go the extra mile. Dave, I'll see out in public and he'll stop and talk to me. And, we talk about more than comics, life. He's my friend after all. I like both of those guys. But I would definitely do that. I'd love to be able to do some kind of stream or some kind of video that would help them, get a huge boost in sales. I'd do the same for Comics Elite or any of the local stores or any comic book shop because I feel strongly about comic book stores. They need to be saved. The community is something you can't get elsewhere. I'm really, really, really passionate about that. But Salvador, there's some stuff that I'm going to be working on in terms of my collection. I actually pulled down my Sideshow collectible Han Solo because I needed to look at, how to draw Harrison Ford's face. And I'm looking at it now, actually. It's a little dusty. But it's a cool toy, and I got a lot of cool stuff that I kind of miss looking at. Sometimes it just sits up on a shelf, but then you pull it down, you move the arms, you check out the gun in the holster, stuff like that. And you really appreciate some of the stuff you got. Live streaming, eating breakfast. Oh, live stream eating breakfast. We buy stuff off the menu and you eat it. I like that idea. We could try. Would anybody do that? That'd be kind of fun. I got a new phone. I could do that. I could go to like Waffle House and you guys could tell me what to order and I'll do it. I might be sick afterwards, but it'd be fucking fun. Moret the Aline, thank you very much for your super chat. My lyrics are over and done. From horses to muff, even gun. Don't fret, I'll be back with the lyrical six-pack and shoot my fun pun stun gun. Run! Oh, man. I love it. I'm looking forward to you coming back with that fun pun stun gun. I'll run. Send Jeff to Golden Corral for breakfast. That'll teach him. Oh, God, Golden Corral. I feel shame when I eat at Golden Corral. Not because of the food I've eaten, but just the quality of food I've eaten. I don't know. The only reason I picked Waffle House is because it's the closest breakfast place that's not McDonald's. Have I ever met Cincy Nerd? He goes on toy hunts and comic shops and stores with his channel. I subscribed to Cincy Nerd because maybe you, Jedi Knight and a friend of Captain Solo, somebody recommended that I do it, so I did. I follow a lot of the smaller channels that either, like, for example, some people will send in a super chat and say, hey, this is a shameless plug for my channel. Like, was it Economics and Comics or something like that? This is the first one that popped in my head. And I'll go subscribe right away and check out their content and tell people like this because I knew it was hard to get started. And we're very fortunate where we are now. So if somebody mentions a channel or something like that, I check it out, give them a shout out. What the hell? It doesn't hurt me. So why not? Every time I eat at Golden Corral, I feel like I'm eating at Jeff Foxworthy's house. It's a big house. We don't have Denny's by me, Apollo Creed. Denny's, we don't have Denny's. We don't have 7-Elevens. They're big places that are all over the country that we don't have around here anymore. We have IHOP. We can go to IHOP at 4 in the morning and stream. I should go on a toy hunt with Cincy. That'd be kind of fun. See, I do enjoy going on toy hunts, but now I just buy my stuff online because Toys R Us is gone. I went to Target the other day. I was pissed off too. I know this is completely random, but I went to Target and oh yeah, by the way, Dio Brando, there will be solo trading cards for Stealing Solo. Don't worry. I gotta sit down and update the Indiegogo again because the $40,000 stretch goal is the Comicsgate trading card of Stealing Solo, and I'm not going to tell you what's on it yet. See, some of this stuff is a surprise. You'll get to see the cover and some interior pages and a couple other ideas, but I want the appeal, the surprise to be like, you get this book in February, maybe I deliver it to your house, maybe whatever, but you open the book up and you go, this was worth every dollar I spent, and this is truly special. And I want you to have that feeling because sometimes, like when I picked up Spider-Man number 700, I was really pumped for that book. Or no, wait, not Spider-Man number 700, Spider-Man number 600. I was pumped for that book. Long story short, I want you guys to have that same feeling I got. There's a Denny's in Walton. Oh, like Walton, Verona, Kentucky? I'm not that close, but I'm not that far either. Let's see. You guys want to see something old I drew? I actually like this picture. Golgo 13. Let's see. Shit. Let me try to position this Instagram so nothing controversial shows up. Okay, that's better. The tension is killing me. I'll show this for a moment. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this on a different site that I used to draw. Because if it's on another site, I'll do it that way. I don't mind sharing it at all, but I just don't want to have something pop up and get dinged on this channel and have it shut down because that's the kind of shit that happens to people, and I don't want that to happen. Let's see. Open image, new tab. Thank you for your patience, folks. I apologize in advance that this has a DeviantArt watermark, but this is the only way I can show you something I drew. And if anyone's like, did you really draw that, Jeff? Well, the watermark has my damn name on it. So this is from 2014, but we were talking about art. Why not show you guys something cool? Here's my favorite anime manga character, Golgo 13. It's just fun. It's what the character looks like. I like it. Toy hunting is harder now that there's no Toys R Us KB and Target sucks. I went to Target and I found the Wolverine figure that I pre-ordered the minute it came out because I was so worried I'd never find it. And I saw like 5 of them. So Wolverine, I think they realized how popular yellow and blue suit Wolverine is, and now they're everywhere. Oh, IHOP changed their name again? They're now IHOB? Like permanently? There you go. Oh, you like the picture of Kane with Kane holding the gift? Yeah, I like that as well. That was funny. Some guy came up and bought it from me. Salvador, I'm watching on my phone, PS4, and iPad on 3 accounts to bolster those viewing numbers and likes. Got to help the brothers out. Thank you, Salvador, so much. I know a couple people, Superfan Adam Shawhan and his whole family of wiener dogs do that too. So that's I appreciate that, guys, that you go out of your way. That's Golgo 13. That's old. I love Golgo 13 though. So I'm looking forward to the new art for Stealing Solo is not on this computer, but when it's ready, you'll see it. Video game hunting is the hardest thing to do these days. Practically a pointless endeavor. I don't do video game hunting. I bought a Super NT, so if I want classic Super Nintendo stuff, I'll just straight up get that like that digitally. Got the Golgo 13 encyclopedia, but it's in Japanese. I would buy that. I don't care if I can read it. I just like to look at the images. Thank you, P. Bethulu. Is that how I say it right? Yeah, P. Bethulu. Akira volumes 1 and 2 for Amazon, $20 on Amazon. That's a good deal. It's possible. Jeff said he figured out a way to insert a "get off my plane" moment in the comic. Yes, I did. I did 100%. I'm not going to tell you about it. It's incredible. There's so many, like, it's parody in the truest form, put it like that. Am I ready to watch Iron Fist season 2? Is it out? I hope it's not out. When does Iron Fist season 2 come out? I don't know if I want to watch. You know what? God damn it, not now. I typed in Iron Foe. What the hell's Iron Foe? Okay, Iron Fist season 2. Oh, it's out. Fuck. I wasn't gonna watch it. I think I might put it on. I'll have 2 computers up. I'll turn off the podcast today, and I'll have this computer show Iron Fist, and then I'll work on stealing Solo after I get some breakfast in me, and then go to the gym. Yeah, I guess I have to check it out. Don't worry, Raul Valdez. I don't think you can leak the entire plot. Yeah, Punisher is where it's at. Punisher and Daredevil were the 2 best Marvel Netflix shows, hands down. Defenders was disappointing. Luke Cage was better than Jessica Jones, but both shows were just kind of meh at the end of the day. What is the Marvel show with the white guy in a perm? Are you thinking of Iron Fist? Punisher was SJW crap. It was? I didn't really get SJW crap from that. I kind of took it as it did kind of fall apart once the bomber guy who played Lee Harvey Oswald in the JFK 11/22/63 show on Hulu. Once he died, that rogue soldier, I did feel the show kind of went down in quality a little bit, but I still liked it. Ivan Ortega is binging it. He has an Iron Fist tattoo on his chest. I didn't know that. I did not know he has a tattoo on his chest. I don't have any tattoos. I don't really think there's anything that I want to look at long enough. I will say this. If I get year 2000 rock buff by the end, before Star Wars Celebration, I'll get a Brahma Bull tattoo. I just won't tell my mom about it. Let's see. Your thoughts on Jack Ryan movies, and why am I thinking of Roundhead Johnson while typing this? Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, and Hunt for Red October are all good. I really like Patriot Game. No, Clear and Present Danger is on Sean Bean. I love that movie quite a bit. The one where Ben Affleck played him, was it The Sum of All Fears? Didn't like it. And then I haven't seen the new one with Jim from The Office. Yeah, John, tattoos just don't do it for me. Okay, so I talk about the lady that runs she doesn't really run the gym. She's the manager of the gym, but it's owned by somebody else. Anyway, I always jokingly think of her as like the gym MILF, because she's this like fit lady with like fake boobs and all this stuff. And I was like, man, she's hot. But then she got this big sleeve tattoo, and I don't like it, not because, it makes her ugly. It just throws off the body symmetry. And I'm like, something weird about symmetry throws me off. I don't know. Maybe it's the artist in me. To Buzz General, I've been on and off, but I've been really consistent for a straight calendar year, so I pretty much made that whole life change. I did play sports in high school. I played football. They put me on the varsity football team right away because I was in first grade. My mom wanted to put me on the football team, and I went to a private school, and I was too big to play with the kids my age, so they're like, we're going to put you on the 8th grade team. And my mom said, no, you're not. So I never played football in high school because of the weight limit. And then I got the grade school because of the weight limit. I got the high school. I was the biggest kid in the state, and I didn't know how to play football, and I hated it. So I was an academic student, A's, B's, honor roll, all that shit, and an art student too. So I just quit my senior year, and I didn't really care, and I never got into sports after that. So I did play. I'm just not a big sports fan. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much. Just checked your Indiegogo for stealing Solo. Holy crap, dude. Well done for hitting and exceeding your goal. Stephen, thank you very much. And it's just the beginning. We're going big. We're going super big. Plus, I did hire colorists and stuff like that because I want to give you guys the best product possible. And it's all professionally printed and all that good stuff. So if anyone's questioning it, you will get the same quality product that you'll get, maybe even better than some of the other Indiegogo comics. Now, obviously, Ethan's got Cyberfrog that's the record, but we can still beat it. Anything's possible. Kevin Garnett said so. Come on. No, Scott, that wasn't too personal. No. Well, let's see. Was my dad as big as I was? Well, I never met. Well, I obviously met him because he was there when I was born. But there's an old jacket of his, and I can't get that on my chest. So from what I can tell from pictures, he was like 6'2", and I'm about 6'5" or so. So I'm bigger. I guess I get it from a hybrid from my mom's side and his side because my mom's German essentially, and they're very broad people, all of them. Nobody in my family, in terms of guys, are under 6 feet tall. So I come from a pretty tall family. Thank you, American Trent. Thank you. Let's see, Jeff, you should have gotten into wrestling. Great sport. Never regretted any of my time on the mat. I would have liked to have wrestled. Up until recently. Okay, so I wanted to be a pro wrestler. I know that sounds crazy, but I couldn't have done it. My thing was, I was always trying to finish school, and school was a big financial burden in terms of college, and I took extra time because of the money. So I was always focused on that, and dealing with this and that, and trying to work and do other things. So I never really got to pursue that. But if I don't know, looking back, I kind of wish I would have, except for the fact that Coach Loudy, the guy that used to be on the podcast, trained to be a wrestler, and he had concussions and all kinds of shit. So he's not the same from that training. That would have been something cool. Now I know you're talking about real collegiate Olympic wrestling. Could have been. I don't mean to sound like a charity case, but if somebody would have shown interest in me when I was younger or had the time, I definitely would have pursued something like that. But my life was a little different. I was always focused on school. In the meantime, I drew and was into video games and other stuff like that. And my mom worked a lot. So I did play baseball as a kid, and I was pretty good at it until I got screwed over. I told you I went to a Catholic school, and you had to pay, I think it was $80 or $90 a season to play. Fine. That covered whatever costs and the uniforms and shit like that. So 5th grade rolls around. I had played consistently from 1st grade through 4th grade. Wasn't the best player, wasn't that fast, but I could hit the ball because I was bigger than every kid. I had good eye-hand coordination. So when I hit it, that shit went far. 5th grade rolled around. My mom paid the money, and they didn't put me on a team. They said, well, we're just going to keep the money as a donation to the church. And never again did I play a sport or do anything for that school because they screwed me. They took my money, and they didn't give me what I paid for. So I never again played that sport. So that's why I got out of baseball. But yeah, if somebody would have shown interest in me as a kid, it wasn't the case. My uncles had kids that were my age. They were busy doing their own shit. It's fine. I'm not bitter. To be honest, yeah, it'd be cool. There was a kid that went to high school a year younger than me that's in the NFL. His name's Kyle Rudolph. He plays for the Vikings. Yeah, I'd love that. But I got this right now. And I don't think people understand how cool this is. I mean, yeah, there's, thousands of people watch him play. That's true. But they also go for the team. World Class Bullshitters is just 4 guys, and Good Morning Pop Culture is just me. And this show is awesome. So I'm happy where I am, and it's only getting better. We got a comic, and I'm getting to do all the things I ever wanted to do on my own. And, there's a huge audience out there for it. So that's a really long roundabout way of talking about sports. Sorry about that. My favorite era of wrestling was the year 2000. Rock on top, no Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Jericho, all those dudes. Favorite year. But 99 through 06 was awesome. I can watch all that and never complain once about booking or anything. Salvador, thank you very much. Jeff, what's your policy on hanging out with the fans? Realize you're only about 3 hours away from my hometown. Would you be down to get drinks and pizza the next time I'm home on leave? I'll drive to you. I've hung out with people, Salvador. I don't really have here's the thing. I don't believe in stranger danger. Superfan Adam Shawhan will attest to this. Your average person's not going to come up to me and try to pick a fight. So I really don't have stranger danger. Plus, I like to believe that everyone's good. Maybe it'll be my downfall. Hopefully not. But no, Salvador, yeah, I'll be honest. It just depends on what I'm doing. As of now, I'm kind of super busy with the channel and stuff. But I do have fan meet and greets. I've had one so far. Our buddy, his name's Anthony. We met up at Rock and Rooster, and we talked for 5 hours about stuff and comics and all that stuff. And it was a nice time. I want to get a group of people here, and there's quite a few local listeners, and I'll put a feeler out, and I'll get some of Channel Dad Brian Lape would be there, and a couple other people that have been on the show, and we'll all go out to the Hofbrau house and have some beer and dinner, and walk around, go to bars, just hang out together. I'm all for that. That's definitely something, Salvador. So let me know I'm going to just be completely honest. This year is kind of like, seriously, till the end of the year, I'm pretty busy consistently. I don't go out or do too much. So I'm not telling you no. I'm telling you yes 100%. You just let me know in 2019 when you're going to be home more consistently, and we'll make something happen. I definitely love to hang out and meet. I love to meet everybody here. Superfan Adam Shawhan can attest to it. It's fun. I like it. We talked for about, 5 hours, Adam? The whole day, you and I were hanging out behind the table. We saw the turkey suit shit live firsthand. So it was a good time. But yeah, just contact me, Salvador. You know how to contact me. I'm not very hidden. Eddie Max of Andor, thank you very much. On the 8th day, God created baseball. Go Tribe. Was that from a movie? What's the one with Charlie Sheen? Is that from that? I'm sorry. You caught me on a reference even I don't understand. I'm not Captain America in this, this isn't my Flying Monkeys reference. I'm sorry, Eddie Max of Andor. Anthony Mata, thank you very much for your super chat. To chime in earlier about places to create art, I do a lot of my sketching at cafes and bars. A majority of people leave me alone, but sometimes I get people who are curious about my art, and I don't mind answering questions. Anthony Mata. Yes, everyone is different. I don't even mind. I don't mind answering questions. Like when I show you guys some stuff, I'm more like, I'm not afraid to show my art or anything like that. That's why I put it out there for people to see and do comics and stuff that people can, consume and read. I'm not that. I just feel like, it's like that song by Rocco. I always feel like somebody's watching me. And sometimes it takes me, a couple minutes to decide, how I'm going to do the next step. Sometimes like if I'm drawing a figure, I draw the spine, the shoulders, then the hips, and then I build the chest and go from there. And then before you know it, I'm off to the races with a figure. But then sometimes I'm contemplating my next move like a chess game. And when somebody's watching, I feel like I'm rushed. Maybe I want to take an extra moment to decide, do I like the shape of the eye or does the hair flow naturally? Stuff like that. That's to me, that's part of the process. And I don't really want anyone else involved. Now, after I've drawn something, if people want to ask about it or talk about it, I'm more than open to that. I don't, I've been in art shows before. When I was in college, we did some comic book stuff. I took a couple comic book classes. That was kind of cool though. So junior year of college, I took a creating comic book course, and it was taught by a guy who was an artist, but it wasn't the greatest course. It was kind of like, going back, I wish I would have never taken the class. The only interesting thing that came from the class is there's this girl that worked in the cafeteria that's like, how come you never came by anymore? I always gave you extra food because I wanted you to talk to me. And I was completely oblivious to that. But other than that, the class was kind of dumb because I didn't learn anything. We didn't learn to draw. He made us buy all these books. And basically we learned how to scan art, stitch it together on a scanner, and then that was it. It was kind of a bullshit course, to be honest with you. But at the end of the year, we were able to take some art and do and sell our comics. And I think I sold the most stuff because what I did is I took a big picture of Spider-Man I had drawn in McFarlane style. And I have it somewhere. I'll have to dig it out. That's a live stream I'm going to do. I'm going to dig out my box of art and, show you guys some old stuff I did. But I worked that show and did really well and sold, I sold out the little book we were able to sell. And I just had a lot of people show interest in my stuff, and I liked it. It was fun. I definitely, love the interaction. I think that's why I enjoy this show so much, because I talk to people constantly, either on social media or here on the channel or through email or stuff like that. It's always interacting with people. That's really my favorite thing, to communicate. That's why I, took communications in college. Art is a way to communicate, but I like to use my words, my voice. Like I was talking about how excited I was to do that single video the other day. I got to write and do that, and it's all a part of who I am. That's why, Stealing Solo is cool, because I get to sit down and write it, come up with the jokes, play around with concepts and scenarios in my head. And then once that's done, I go to the next part and get to visualize it. And it's exciting when I get stuff back from the colorist too, because it's like, hey, this is what I had planned for it. And now you get to show it to me your way. And I'm like, oh man, that's cool. So it's all collaborative. Let's see. Midnight Cherry TV popped up. So thank you very much. My dream job, big white dude who manages luchadors. That'd be a cool dream job. Would you wear a mask yourself, or would you just dress in a suit? So you'd be like the Paul Ellering of luchador wrestling. And I could see you with that job. Would you wrestle a tag team called the Mystery Men? Or would you manage a tag team called the Mystery Men? They come out to All Star by Smash Mouth. Superfan Adam Shawhan, thank you very much for your compliment. Can you please end the vicious blood war and tell us once and for all who was the best Titan girl, Raven or Starfire? If we're going based strictly on the 03 show, I kind of like Raven in her deadpan-ness. But if we're going comics, I'm going Starfire. But let's just stick with the TV show, Raven. Oh my God. Edward, come to Texas someday for barbecue, and tacos are awesome. I love barbecue and I love tacos. When I was in Texas last time, we went to Velvet Taco in Dallas, Texas. Why do I keep messing up Houston and Dallas? But no, we went. Overall, like I jokingly say, I've never had a good time in Texas, but I want to change that. I want to get our goal numbers up so we can do quarterly shows, and that will cover us to, we got to fly to Texas, guys. That's okay. Patreon will cover that. We'll go to Texas. We'll get a booth. We'll hang out at shows. We'll meet people. We'll spread the word, grassroots style, on the internet, through comics, everything. Like I told you guys, we're taking over. It's going to be fun. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much. I live in Cardiff, Wales, so a meetup isn't going to happen, sadly. Hopefully my super chats can pay toward a couple of beers for you and the rest of the world-class bullshitters team. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much. One day we will do a world-class bullshitters world tour, and we're going to hit the UK, other parts of Europe, Japan. World tour is I can jokingly say it's the end goal, but it's like an annual goal. Like, I want the show to go to a point where it's like we do our shows, we do our stuff, and then in the early beginning of the year when there's not a lot of movies, we do our world tour. So in January we hit, London, maybe Ireland, Scotland, then we go to France and Germany, and then somewhere else. We just basically zigzag across the map, Indiana Jones style. And then we come back to America for movie season where we start doing that kind of shit. That would be an ideal schedule every year. People are talking about college. Yeah, college courses in a nutshell. It was a bullshit class. If World Class Bullshitters makes it to Atlanta or Charlotte, I'm definitely there. Well, John Lance, we are kind of in Atlanta, if you know what I mean. That's a possibility because Nick lives down there, and I do plan on visiting Nick in the future. So I was supposed to go down to Virginia Beach to visit Joel for his birthday, but like I said, my mom's diabetes and high blood pressure had like a flare-up shit, so her health's kind of iffy right now. Like I said, it's nothing serious. She's not dying. She's not in a hospital. She'll be fine. She's got to get a couple things looked at and take better care of herself. But in the meantime, I really don't feel comfortable leaving. So our friend Rugis was going to meet up with me down there, and I had to cancel that trip overall. So the next trip I'll be on for sure, American Trent 007, I'll be in Lansing if you want to come hang out with us. But I'll be in New York next April, and then I'll be in Chicago for Star Wars Celebration, and that's going to be the biggest fan meetup ever. I expect a lot of people to show up to our bar. I expect a lot of people to show up to the hangouts at restaurants and stuff. We're going to have, seriously, it's going to be everything we talk about and more. The people that met us at Horror Hound had a great time, and it was just a small group of people. Actually, it was more than I thought, but still, a small group of people. Until there's like 100 people there. It's a party, dude. It's a party. Salvador says, is it possible to tour with Wizard World? That'd be cool. I would do that. The thing is, I'm not opposed to traveling with any of these places, and I like Wizard World. I used to love their comic, or their magazine, Wizard magazine. I used to love Toy Fair, all that stuff. I haven't been to one of their conventions. They don't come here. We have local shows, and the local shows are a little weird because they're like super, super family friendly. So like when I would sell horror art, I'd have to put it in a book separate from the comic book art because, like, the Reanimator, there's a severed head going down on a chick. You don't want a little kid dressed as Rocket Raccoon to see that. And I understand. But also, I can't have a world-class bullshitters display, so it's kind of stupid. So that's why I haven't checked it out. Perez's Starfire is my favorite, too. Perez is a fantastic artist. Alec Munoz says, Jeff, any plans for California? Jeremy's coming next month. Down the road, yeah. Like I told you guys, my year is pretty much booked up. I'll be in this office doing stuff, and that's fine. I'm really thankful. Like, I tell you guys thanks all the time, but I genuinely mean it. I don't ever, sometimes I'm tired. Like for Spaceballs, I was dead tired last week, and I didn't really want to do it. But I told you guys I was going to do it. I drank a cup of coffee, ate a mini muffin, and I was up, and we were at the races, and we had a fantastic time. So, yeah, there are times when I'm tired. I'm not going to lie. I'm only human. But I am thankful that I get to do this stuff. So sitting in an office making this stuff for all you guys is cool. I love it. I'm never going to once be like, oh, this is terrible. I hate my life. It's awesome. Seriously, this is better than anything I would be doing with a college degree or, being an accountant or a doctor or anything like that. It's awesome. So I'm booked up this year, but 2019 will be maybe the year of touring. You'll find out. Who knows? After Celebration, we have a big open space. It's all that build up to Star Wars Episode 9. Who knows what's going to happen in between there? I may hit the lottery and invest half of that money into the channel. Who knows? Stealing Solo will have, been out. That's going to be going big too. So anything's possible. California this year, definitely not. Maybe next year, who knows? And I'll always announce when we're traveling. Let's see, who else? God, it's already 10 o'clock. There are days like this. Okay, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week. Tuesday was a little bit of a rough start because of the holiday and stuff like that. But the last 3 days, we've had shows that have gone on, and I could go on another hour. It's just been a great morning. I'm having a fantastic time. Any commentaries for Harrison Ford flicks coming up? Benobi, that's a good idea. That could be a subtle way to promote Stealing Solo. Going to use it. So Benobi75, thank you very much. Thank you, superfan Adam Shawhan. The bullshit flows like wine, where women instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano. Talking about a little place called Aspen. Oh no, Lloyd, the French are assholes. Oh, Dumb and Dumber, one of my all-time favorite flicks. Fantastic. Any nods to The Fugitive and Stealing Solo? I can't tell you guys anymore. I told you there was a nod. There's a get off my plane moment. There's all kinds of stuff. Remember, parody. I just can't tell you. Guys, you got to get it. You got to get it to know the story. And I'm going to be showing you new art soon. Very soon. Trust me. I'll have some stuff for the High Council. It's a big audience. I want to tell people about them, get them excited. And I'm not only waiting to the High Council. Once I get a few more things back from these guys, it's going to be full updates all the time. Get off my Falcon. If I could live in any fictional universe you wanted to, which one would you pick? It wouldn't be the Star Wars universe because we love Star Wars, but let's be honest, they're a galaxy at war. It's rough. So I wouldn't live in the Star Wars universe. I guess like the Star Trek universe because it's a utopia. I don't really want to go to war or die. I'd like to have a flying car and a lot of money and just, zip around through space. Pretty easy guy to please. Thank you, superfan Adam Shawhan. Yes, Scott, you want to be surprised? I want to surprise you. I expect you to... I'll probably get a fuckload of tweets when you guys get your books. Like, oh my God, I did not see that coming. I'm just putting it out there. Everyone does need to get a copy, Edward. Everyone does. So Stealing Solo, folks, it's the world-class bullshitters comic. It's kicking ass. It's doing all kinds of stuff. It's taking the world by storm. So I'd like to thank everyone who's made that possible. I did say this on the High Council, and I'm not trying to get into it, but like a lot of people were like, comic books are a waste of your time. Do something else. It wasn't a waste of my time. Look at it. That's all I can say is I might give a copy to everyone in my family for Christmas and say, well, I can't because it won't be out by then. But you know what I'm saying? Next Christmas, I'll look at them and say, guys, you told me I was wasting my life. I was wasting my time. A million other people disagree with you. And now look where we are. I'm going off to meet Harrison Ford because he signed on for the movie. And I'm going to be hanging out on location. There we go. Stephen Morgan, thank you very much. Says, for your super chat, live action or animated movie of Stealing Solo? Live action, man. Live action all the way. It's a crazy story. It's one of those things that's going to come out and people go, how is this not a movie yet? And then some producer's going to want to get involved and it'll be a movie and it'll be like, damn, dude came up with a concept on a podcast, made a comic book, and now it's a movie. Yeah, that's how life goes. Come up with something, you build it, you make it happen, and then you enjoy it. And that's what Stealing Solo is. Exactly, Scott. Dream big just like me. Because you know what? Dream big, look where we are now. That's all I can say. Look where we are now. The show's a full-time thing. Guys, you can make all kinds of stuff happen. I won't say anything happen because it's like, I'm going to dream that I can fly like Superman. That's just not going to happen. Physics don't allow it. But if you have a goal, you say, I want to live in whatever neighborhood in a big house, you dream about it, you can make stuff happen. So I think that is a perfect way to end this morning's Good Morning Pop Culture. This has been a massively successful show. Thank you to everyone. I'm so glad that the Star Wars hate speech study is full of shit, so we have something to laugh at on a Friday before work. And speaking of work, if you're working and lurking, press 1. If you're at home enjoying your vacation, press 2 or whatever else. And in the meantime, guys, listen to the back catalog of stuff. Check out the stuff on Patreon. World Class Bullshitters After Hours is up. You got an extra episode coming to you on Patreon. If this is the last time I talk to you for the week, have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday for the first time. But if you're one of the cool kids, make sure you're here tonight. I'm going to put it out about 10 o'clock. I'll say 10 o'clock is going to be our live stream for this evening. That way we can get through it, get to bed about 1, I don't want to sound like an old man, but I got shit to do this weekend, for Stealing Solo. So come back tonight at 10 o'clock for Family Guy Star Wars. We're doing the entire saga. They're on Hulu. I don't know if they're still on. If it's on Netflix, it's on Netflix too. So check your local streaming services, check your DVDs or Blu-rays. But we're going to watch all of them. I'm going to see who I can get on the show with me tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun. So Stephen Morgan, again, thank you very much for the super chat. Glad to have been off work for my birthday, as it meant catching another stream. Take it easy, Jeff. Have a great weekend. Stephen Morgan, again, happy birthday to you, my friend. Thank you so much for your generosity in the channel. I will be getting Batman the Animated Series and making a video about it just for you. So thank you very much. And guys, be safe at work. Have a good one, and I'll see you tonight.